on San Diego.
This is Xander Bogaerts. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And the Padres in front.
And Odyssey Sports Station. Attention, 97.3 The Fan listeners. If you're drowsy, sluggish, or feeling fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost. With Tony Gwynn Jr.
Well, I want to see greatness.
I love greatness.
Chris Ello.
You can't swing a cat around without hitting 4 or 5 idiots anymore.
And Matt Skraby.
I love greatness.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
Yes, we are, and away we do go. It is finally a Friday, so there's that. We welcome you into Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, home of the Padres. Still proud to be home of the Padres, but certainly not feeling it today as we get underway for the next 4 hours. Yeah, that's right. Back to the 4-hour grind, Skrabe. Got 4 full hours. We'll take you right up until
5-hour grind for me.
Forgot this. Well, that's another bit of good news there. See, we've already come up with 2 bits of good news.
Yes.
The Skraby Chronicles return tonight from 6 to 7.
This is my season, is the off season.
The off season.
The Skraby Show season.
The Skraby Show season. So for all you Skrabinators out there, not that bad of a day, I guess. I do start off with some bad news, though. Skraby, Tony Gwynn Jr., will be in studio today.
Bad news. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad news. Yeah, we didn't want to see him. We want to see him next week, a week after, whatever. But I guess the team came back from Chicago this morning or got home mid-afternoon. And Tony, of course, is on the team flight. So he's just getting into San Diego. Had to, obviously going to have to, get back into the swing of things a little bit. But he will be in studio here in the next, I would think, hour or so, but just whenever he's here, he'll be here. So we'll certainly be able to get his thoughts on what transpired in the wild, well, maybe we should say not so wild card series. There wasn't too much wild about it other than maybe the pitching of Brad Keller in the 9th inning yesterday. And we're going to get into all of it. I got the notes on a scorecard here. It's a playoff edition of notes on a scorecard, Skraby. It's like a book.
Wow, that is the most I've ever
it's a lot.
seen. How many pages are spent on Luis Arraez not running to first?
Oh man, all caps, Skraby. I
thought about
you know how unhappy I was about that. And I mean, look, everybody who's listened or read one of my tweets this year knows that I've defended Luis Arraez as much as I can, but I won't defend that. I will never defend that. And if it had been, I don't know how many times I've said it. At some point, somebody is going to not hustle in a huge spot, and it's going to cost a team.
See, I don't even know because Luis is not a guy to me, and I don't know why I brought this up first, because it's not Luis Arraez's fault.
Right, well, let's start there, though. We got to start somewhere.
He's not the type of guy who does not hustle.
It wasn't
so he
really
had
even
to have thought that it was
It honestly looked to me like it was a bit of just a reaction, like, oh, I'm out. But the bottom line is you can't do it. And I'm tired of this. I understand that a fly ball to center field is an easy out. I still want my guys to run. If you don't want to sprint like Nico Horner of the Cubs, for example, does on a fly ball, okay, you don't have to sprint, but at least get out of the batter's box. I see Manny, I see Fernando hit these deep fly balls that are cans of corn, and they're standing in the batter's box when the ball is caught.
No, it's not just Manny and Fernando.
No,
it's
but they're two of my
league.
examples,
yes.
And because I see them more than anyone else. And so, when Arraez hits this yesterday and the guy drops the ball, obviously, or can't catch it, we all say to ourselves, right? We're watching on television. We all say, oh, he's going to beat. No, wait a minute. No, wait, did he not run? And then we see the replay, and he didn't run.
Yeah.
It's inexcusable at this level. And it's inexcusable in Little League. I'm not kidding you. Your coach, when you're 10 years old, if you hit a fly ball like that and didn't hustle Your coach in 10 years old would say, Johnny, you gotta run it out, man.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we teach you here is hustle.
Yeah.
So it just goes without saying. I'm so sick of it. And you know what? Whether you want to say he didn't hustle or whatever.
I don't think it's a not hustle thing. I think it was a brain error.
No. Well, you know what else it was? It was an assume. And you know what an assume does.
Yes.
It makes an ASS out of you and me. And in this case, it was him. Anyway. That's
Dansby,
not where I wanted to start.
Dansby Swanson was incredible this series.
He had a really good series, but that's not where I wanted to start. I want to start with the emotional part of it first. We got all day to get into what really ails the Padres, and we're going to get into all of that. But I want to just start with the emotional part of it. The end of every season is just brutal and difficult. And it should be. You're a fan out there. I'm a fan. We're all fans. You guys, us, the players themselves, even though I know sometimes you think they Cadillac it, everybody puts their heart and soul into the whole thing. They do. And when it ends, it's crap. And it just is a terrible feeling. I don't know any other way, though, for a season to end. I just don't. Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, that was kind of stupid by me. There's no other way other than a parade for a season to end. I had a pretty empty feeling at the end of the 98 World Series. I remember sitting there at Qualcomm. The Yankees poured out on the field. They were celebrated as the greatest baseball team of all time. A lot of the Padre players came out of the dugout and waved their hats and gloves and, saluted the fans who had been with them all year. It still was a really empty feeling. And it was the same last year. Was it any different really last year? Maybe it was even a little worse last year, having it lose to the Dodgers and to go out the way they did.
I will say this, Chris, like I was talking to my friend this morning, I feel like last year's loss was more of a disappointment for me than this year.
Yeah, maybe so, but here's the difference between last year's loss and this year's, in my mind, that makes this year's more difficult. And that is the fact that last year, the Dodgers were 100+ wins.
Yeah.
The Yankees were all that last year. The Philly, whoever it was, there was a bunch of teams out there that were just loaded. This year, it just was not that case. This year was wide open. It was there for the taking. It is still there for the taking for the 8 teams that are left. You can make a case for any of the 8 that are left right now, and they all have strengths and they all have weaknesses, and none of them won 100 games, and only 2 of them won 95. So that's why it feels like a kick in the gut, because this might have been a chance.
Winning the division, you play the Reds at home?
That was so big.
Big.
We talked about it the entire month of September.
We hope this doesn't come back to be the storyline.
And it is. It's one of the storylines.
Yeah.
You would have. You can't guarantee you to beating the Reds. I don't know. The Reds scored 9 runs in their 2 losses to the Dodgers. It might have taken the Padres a month to score 9 runs in the playoffs. I'm not sure. But, yeah, you would have rather been home. And, you had a chance to take the Dodgers down. They left the door open for you. That is all the stuff that is going to be sour feeling throughout the entire offseason. At least for a while, you're not going to remember too many of the game-winning hits. You're not going to remember too many of the incredible pitching performances and the 15, 16 shutouts and the, 1-run wins and the, everything they did. It's not going to come into your mind at all for a while, nor should it. So there's the emotional part of it, and I think that is the first thing that sticks with me. I try to get mad yesterday. I try to go, well, it's this guy's fault, it's that guy's fault. And I ultimately just kind of landed on the fact that, I know it's not satisfying, but this is what happens in baseball. Baseball is a game of what? Failure. It's a game of failure. The best players in the world get out 7 out of 10 times. It's a game where you have to deal with failure. I know it doesn't feel good right now, But the Dodgers failed over and over and over, and I don't know how many times over again before finally they got, one last year. I know they got the other one in 2020 that people kind of, shoved to the side, but I can't tell you how many times I saw them get beat by the Cubs, the Phillies, the Padres, the Diamondbacks,
Astros.
over and over and over. The Dodgers, the Red Sox beat them. And this is what it is, except for that one team. So there's that emotional part. And I just, if you're going to be invested, and you should be invested, and I love it that we're invested, you're going to have to go through this. This is just part of the deal you make. So the other part I do want to say before I get, and we'll do this in the next segment, Skraby, because beyond the emotional, there are some numbers that are just startlingly bad that have to be fixed, and we have to talk about it. But I did want to say one thing to the fan base out there, probably on behalf of the Padres, because I don't get any of their ticket money. But you guys were incredible this year. And what'd they sell out, Scrape? 69 games?
I'm
70
not sure how
games?
many, but a lot.
I mean, maybe 10 or 11 games weren't sold out the whole season.
Attendance record, all of that.
Did it. You guys gave it your all. You guys put everything you could into it. And I feel like they let you down big time. They did. They weren't able even to get you a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is the way it's set up. But as we just discussed, Skraby, they could have beaten the Dodgers in the division. They could have even caught the Cubs there at the end had they not blown that one game at the end on Sunday. I think it was Milwaukee. They let that home game to Milwaukee, which kind of gave the Cubs some breathing room. They could have caught the Cubs and at least had the series here. They didn't, and we don't even get a single playoff game. That is a huge letdown from the Padres to the fans. Not that they were trying to do it, but the fact of the matter is it happened, and I feel really bad for a great season of fans supporting Padre baseball.
I do too. Something I say on the Skraby Show all the time is if the Padres want to get to where they want to go, their superstars have to superstar. Next segment, we'll go over some of those numbers, but the superstars did not superstar. I mean, Manny Machado, he's an exception for winning game 2, basically, but other than that, I think there were 4 for 33 at the top. I know I'm giving away the stats. We'll wait until.
Well, there's so many of them. You can give a
4
few.
4 for 33.
Yeah, you can give a few of them away
3.
now. Hey, let me tell you something, and I'll just I'll tell you when we get back. But if you look at some of the offensive stats going into the playoffs, we should have had every reason to expect that this was what's going to happen, and it did. Gwynn and Chris underway. Tony will be with us in studio. The Padres are back from Chicago, so he'll get here when he gets here. We're glad you're here. We have both basically just a post-mortem Friday.
Yeah.
I do have the notes on a scorecard. I'm going to take us through yesterday's game one more time, and that includes everything that happened yesterday from the second inning to the 9th inning. And, I know we're going to all be thinking about a lot of stuff that happened. So we'll get you through all of that. We'll talk about what went wrong. We have our countdown later on, which will be the top 5 reasons the season is over. So, it's going to be pretty Padres centric. I know there's an Aztec football game tonight. I hope some of you are, heading out there for that. But when we come back, more on the season that was the 2025 Padres on 97.3 The Fan.
At Verizon.
is over. Cubs 3, Padres 1. I'm not quite sure where to start as far as, some of the really ugly offensive numbers that just are glaring. And, I could angrily say, hey, why don't we go out and trade for yet another closer next year and, trade for and sign a couple of more relievers next year?
They don't need any of that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of
remember
their big thing at the trade deadline was Mason Miller. I know they added Laureano and they added O'Hearn. As it turned out, Laureano wasn't available. The best former Baltimore Oriole, though, in this series was neither of them. It was Andrew Kitteridge, who the Cubs picked up from Baltimore. But anyway, hopefully the Padres can keep whatever pitching they need to keep. And we're going to go through the roster and everybody who's, could leave, might leave, etc. I will say you absolutely positively have got to get some more hitting. I can't watch this another postseason. Can you? I don't think anybody can. I don't think anybody wants to. 1 year is maybe 2 years is too trendy for me. I can't. They were awful offensively, and the numbers just only support the claim, but it wasn't just that. You're facing Jameson Taillon yesterday. By the time the game started, or maybe halfway through the first batter, did you not know at that point, if you've never seen him pitch before, did you not know at that point that this guy has a devastating changeup and that he loves the changeup and he uses his changeup often to keep batters off stride? And when he doesn't throw a changeup, he throws slow breaking stuff, and he does this, darting one way and the other way, and he has great command. We knew all of this stuff, or at least I did, midway through the first inning. So somebody explain to me how the Padres then can send 4 innings worth of batters up against him who all pull the ball and roll over and ground out to second base. I don't get it. How do you not know? Fernando, sorry, the biggest and brightest are the easiest to spot, so they get picked on the most maybe, but he's trying to pull everything out of the ballpark. He got 6 pitches his first 2 at-bats. 1 of them was a strike. The other 5 he just flailed at and went and sat down. He looked like he had no plan at all. And I just can't believe you can get to this point and go out there and look as clueless against this pitcher as he did. If he's throwing slow stuff on the outside corner, it's probably going to drop outside the zone. They just look like they've never seen an off-speed pitcher in their lives. And that maybe made me more mad than the actual results, which we know were horrible.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying, and I feel like their mentality when they were on this year, their hitting mentality was clear and obvious.
Center field, opposite field, gap.
Move the line.
I don't get it. So now you show up in the playoff. They flied out. They hit 13 fly ball outs in game 1, came right back and hit 12 more in game 2. And then yesterday, Cronenworth rolling over to second base.
He was 0 for 11 in the series.
Well, he also faced 9 lefties, so I'm not defending him. I'm saying that was part of it. But the one righty he faced, yanking it, grounding over to second base. Time and time again, Fernando swinging at stuff that wasn't even close. He looked like he just had no idea. I don't get how you can be in this situation. At least, we'll rip on a rise, and we already did. At least he hit a fly ball the other way, which almost actually carried out of the ballpark. And we'll get into the notes on the scorecard. At least Manny hit a line drive to right center that Crow Armstrong made a great play on. Everyone else who faced Taillon rolled over. It was embarrassing to me, and I wasn't the only one who noticed it. We got a text, you and I, from our partner sitting in the booth at Wrigley Field saying, if we keep doing this, it's going to be a long day. And he was right.
I mean, yeah.
So I don't get how you can get to this point and be like, those are things to me that are in your control. Once you hit the ball, you can't control it. If you hit the ball well, you have a good at bat, you line drive, you take some pitches, you swing at strikes, you take balls, and then a guy makes a play, hey, boom, great. But if you're just going to get yourself out all day, that's just I can't handle that.
I'm with you 100%. I think that what happened was they figured, they didn't hit well down the stretch at all. Like it was something that we talked about.
It was a mirage the last week or so when they put some runs on the board.
It was. And so when they get away from their game plan, they start to press, and everybody's trying to tie up the game, and everybody's trying to make something happen. And we have said this all year long: when you press, good things don't normally come out of it.
Let me tell you how bad the Padres were in this series. The Padres in this series had a batting line of what do they call it? A split line or whatever? Splits. 189 batting average, 243 on base, 305 slugging. In the series, now 3 games is a very small sample, but in 3 games, the OPS was 548. If you include the disastrous end to last season and you factor in the last 51 innings of postseason play, their OPS drops to 447. Let me tell you how low that is.
That's almost hard to do.
Well, let me tell you how low it is. The worst player in baseball this year in OPS. Do you know who it was? Who qualified, right? You got to have enough at bats to qualify. The worst hitter in the major leagues this year was Milwaukee Brewers shortstop Joey Ortiz.
Oh, wow.
His OPS.
Shout out Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, thanks. Joey's glad I brought this up. Joey Ortiz's OPS was still 50 points higher than what the Padres did against the Cubs. And he was the worst player in baseball. His OPS is 150 points better than what the Padres have done in the last 51 innings of postseason play. That is a trend that is got to change, or you're never going to get the happy ending to the season that we all want. Furthermore, going into this playoff, if you just rank the 12 teams that made the postseason, okay, took out the Rockies, took out all those other teams, the 12 teams in the playoffs, the Padres ranked where in home runs?
Oh, they were
among those 12.
Maybe 26?
No, but you only rank in 12.
12.
Yes, they were 12.
That's an easy one right
That's
there.
an easy one. Here's another one for you. Where did they rank in hitting with runners in scoring position among those 12?
Last?
10th.
Okay.
Here's my point. If you know this, if you can't hit a home run, you better hit with runners in scoring position.
Yes.
And if you can't hit with runners in scoring position, you better hit home runs.
Yep.
Well, statistically, heading into the playoffs, the Padres were bad at both things. So how are we to expect any different of an outcome than the one we got? They went 3 for 26 with runners in scoring position. It was predictable, really. They did hit 2 home runs, and thankfully, one of them at least got them to a third game. This offense it was broke, and I don't think it's an overreaction to say it was. It was ugly, and there's just no excuse for that kind of, you want to pick on individuals, we can single some guys out. 0 for 11 here, 1 for 12 there, 1 for 14 there. Strikeouts this. To me, it was a team-wide approach.
Oh, yeah.
And that is very troubling to me going forward. And it has to be fixed. Whether there has to be I've heard Victor Rodriguez fired at least 1,000 times since yesterday. I don't mind if you really want to blame it on him. Fine. But name a hitting coach who has gotten it done since the Padres moved to Petco Park. It's a short list. Nobody's done it.
I was just about to bring that up because everybody wants more slug. I want more slug. I want to see more home runs, but is it counterproductive, I guess?
I don't know.
To bring in someone who's known for hitting home runs in a park that doesn't allow home runs?
We want more home runs. I just spent the last 10 minutes complaining about the fact that all they did was try to hit home runs at Wrigley Field, and that's why they lost. Because they got away from what they do.
I know it's a conundrum.
Yeah,
it's a conundrum.
You got to find. I don't know.
Move the fences in at Petco.
Okay, well that'll be in for the other team too.
That's the other thing. Other teams seem to be able to homer at Petco, no problem.
Skraby and I were just dreaming for a minute there before the show about who are the bats that are out there. Somebody who's like a major slugger that could come in and change the whole dynamic of this offense. And we both said Kyle Schwarber, because he's hit, I guess, 9 home runs in a very short span at Petco
21
Park.
games, 9 home runs, 938 OPS.
Okay.
He either strikes out or hits home run.
We said Kyle Schwarber. Of course, we'd love to have. Who wouldn't love to have him? I just have the worst feeling he'd come here and hit 28 home runs at Petco Park. I just don't know what the solution really is.
What about
I don't know.
The polar bear?
Yeah, he's about as strong as they get. He's a free agent. There's, don't make me watch him play first base for a whole season, but yes, he can muscle the ball seemingly out of any ballpark.
If he comes here and he plays first base, I don't want to hear any complaints.
Especially after the game Arise had yesterday at first base.
He had a pretty good defensive game.
He had a terrible day, but his defense was almost saved them.
Yeah.
All right. Notes on a scorecard is next. Included in that, of course, is going to be the 9th inning. We haven't talked about DJ Rayburn yet. I didn't want to open with it because I don't want to feel like we're just blaming it on one thing, but that has to be talked about. That and the rest of Game 3 in Notes on a Scorecard. Tony Gwynn Jr. later. Countdown, top 5 reasons the season ended early. It's all still to come on Gwynn and Chris.
Hello, friends. It's Woodsy. Here's the hard truth most parents don't realize.
All right. We yelled our stuff. Emotionally, sucked. Offensively, sucked. And season's over. Baseball playoffs continue this weekend. So difficult to even care, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care.
Like I saw just, in the paper or whatever, there's 4 games tomorrow and they're playing then. I don't care, right? It's so hard to get excited about any of those series.
Could care less about the Cubs and the Brewers
Any
tomorrow at 11:08
our team's
a.m.
out.
our
It's
time.
so difficult to watch moving forward. But it will move forward, unfortunately. All right. Yesterday, I sat back. I watched the game. I did a playoff version of notes on a scorecard.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And
Chris.
I'll get to it in a second.
You need to get it out. There it is.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
thick
a book today.
packet
It's a
today.
book
Before I get
today.
to it, anytime we have a guest on 97.3 The Fan, they will join us. And this is brand new to our show, so we welcome David P. Shapiro. That will be the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. If anybody out there facing criminal charges, maybe Diddy should have called him.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
2 current events.
2 current events. Diddy's
It literally just happened.
It just came down. So if you want to find out how long Diddy's going to jail, you can go look that up somewhere. But anyway, trust David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. So glad to have him aboard. Let's get me some notes on a scorecard, Skrabe, because I have a few.
What did Chris like? What does Chris want to clean up? Observations written on a grocery list. Notes on a scorecard starts now.
I don't know, Skrabe. I think I got one shopping list page for every inning. Anyway, here's my
there
notes on the
was
scorecard.
enough yesterday to
Now
do
the season
that.
was on the line. All right, let me start with something a little lighthearted here.
Okay.
Ben McDonald, who was the color analyst on television.
Old McDonald's?
Ben McDonald, former pitcher. I thought was really good, actually. Really smart, really well informed. But he said something that was just so much hyperbole at the beginning of the game, I couldn't stand it, and I had to make a note of it. He said, as they showed Jameson Taillon warming up before the game, Ben McDonald, quote, "I don't know if you could have a better Game 3 starter anywhere than Jameson Taillon."
Yeah, I can think of many pitchers.
Well, I'm going to start with Koufax, Gibson.
Well, I don't think he was talking about
Seaver.
that, but
Oh, you want me to go realistic? Oh, you want to go current?
2025.
How about Skeens? How about Skubal? How about
I would take Skubal over Jameson Taillon.
I would take Ferguson Jenkins, and he's 70 years old, former Cub.
I would take Dylan Cease over Jameson Taillon.
Taillon pitched great. Don't get me wrong, but this was hyperbole at its highest level yesterday. By the way, Taillon was the second pick overall in the 2010 draft.
Wow, I didn't realize he's been around that
15 years
long.
ago. Do you know who the first pick was ahead of him?
Is it Tony Gwynn Jr.?
No, Tony Gwynn Jr. was not the number one overall
I think I know.
pick. No, the number
Is it
one
Buster Posey?
No, the number one overall pick in 2010. Buster Posey was already playing by then. The number one pick was Bryce Harper, another guy who has broken the Padres' hearts before.
Yes, but another guy who's never won a championship. So.
That's true. Luis Ariza's pop-up went to the warning track in the first inning, and I thought, here we go. It's going to be 9-8.
Here we go.
It is going to be fly ball, Windy City, and you know what? Great. The Padres are hitting fly balls. It didn't work that way at all, did it? Like, that was the only ball all day that carried.
They even did the whole thing before the game where they're like, look at the winds. It's going to be a home run friendly park today. And no.
Didn't happen. Darvish makes his fourth winner-take-all start. Unfortunately, he would end up with his fifth winner-take-all loss. Darvish is 0-5 all time in winner-take-all games. And, we could discuss. I was so, I think I did it with my heart more than my head, right? I was really hopeful Darvish was going to be the guy. I wonder if Schilt and them did it with their heart also, because Michael King looked awfully good.
We'll get to that.
And, Dylan Cease pitched a lot better than Darvish did. maybe Darvish should have been the odd man out, even though they never thought about that, really. They went with experience. They went with what they saw last year, but maybe they should have gone with what they were seeing this year. That said, I don't know. The guy gives up a soft single, a hard hit double. He lost a pitch for a hit batter, and a soft single by Crow Armstrong, and he was done. So, is that enough to say goodbye to you, Darvish, forever? It's not a lasting image we wanted, but that's what we got. I'll get back to the second inning.
Can I go back to something real quick? I just was made aware of another pick in the 2010 draft that was taken right after Jameson.
Okay. Manuel
Machado.
He was third.
Yes.
So Machado and I should have noted. Yeah. So it was Harper, Taillon, Machado.
That's a pretty good top three of the draft, I would say.
Well, that's two of them are good. I mean, Taillon is a nothing until like the last month. He's been good.
The guy on TV said he was the best guy to start ever.
Greatest starter ever for a game 3. Hell of a throw in the first inning by Freddie Fermin.
Oh yeah.
And he had a series. Let's be honest.
He was pretty good.
I mean, you get Horner, who's got 29 steals. Darvish is slow to the plate, cuts him down, and I think that had to be in the back of the mind of the Cubs the rest of the game.
Yeah.
To not be able to run. Fermin is a big weapon there, and I'm glad we have him going forward. All right, Merrill struck out in the second inning. This was the beginning of my stop trying to pull the ball. It was a changeup. It was going down below the zone. Merrill's one of those swings. You got to Tony will talk about it. Against a slower pitcher like this, you got to let the ball travel, as they say. Wait for it. Hit it the other way. O'Hearn followed with a ground ball to first base. And I'm thinking, this is bad.
This is how
you can't do this.
I've seen this story too many times.
You can't do this. You can't pull ground balls against. And, I said earlier, Tony even texted you and I.
Yep.
Said, if we keep doing this, it's going to be a long day. All right, into the second inning. Tucker got a hit, and that was a mid fastball. Darvish threw too many pitches there. Suzuki got a double. That was similar. Second and third, nobody out. I'm thinking, can we hold them to 1 run? We'll give up 1. That's a maximum. But then he hit a batter, and then PCA, who can't hit at all. Darvish makes another mistake. You can't throw the ball. That's the only place you can't throw it, is right there. I heard Ben in Woods this morning. Ben had a great point. Darvish has 9 pitches in the arsenal. PCA swings at everything out of the zone.
Everything.
So why are we throwing him a fastball, our worst pitch, down the middle?
The reemergence of PCA in Game 3 really bothered me.
I felt like we helped him reemerge. 1-0 there. And at that point, and I heard Ben and Wood say the same thing this morning because I was listening, but at that point, it could have just been over then. Like, bases loaded, a run in, Darvish already out of the game. I thought they were going to score 5. I thought they were going to score 7. I thought this is going to be the longest day of our lives.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to be out of it before we even get started.
Yeah.
And then Estrada comes in and walks a guy. 2-0.
You never felt like you're going to get another out again.
Right. It was so bad. And then, I give Estrada some credit. You've got to give it where it's due. He got the strikeout. He got the ground ball. And that was a hell of a double play that Arise started. Mm-hmm. It really was. Mm-hmm. And Estrada to get over and cover 3-6-1. You don't know how tough that play is. And especially to make it with the bases loaded. So 2-0. And you went, wow, we survived. But you know what I wrote at the top of the next page, Skraby?
What?
We held them to 2. It's right here. But can we score 2? And that's what I was thinking. It was the third inning, but I'm thinking, well, we're rolling over on ground balls. First guy up, Jake, rolls over, grounds out. Next guy, Fermin, change up, pulls it down to third base. Same thing. Tatis comes up, 3 pitches. I don't think any of them were strikes. He flails at all of them. That did not give me a lot of confidence going forward.
No.
And then in the fourth inning was when Arise hit his line drive. I wrote it in all caps. And I basically said, I hate this. I mean, it's so obvious. It's low-hanging fruit to pick on the guy, but you have to mention it. As you and I said at the beginning of the show, in Little League, if you don't run when you hit the ball, your coach gets mad at you. That's in Little League.
Yeah.
Please run it out, especially in the playoffs. Don't take anything for granted. I cannot. It was so bad, but it's also so now. You watch how many players in baseball Cadillac it out of the batter's box when they think they're out. Most of them do. And, this was different than that. This was more of a, assuming something that didn't happen, but
I don't think it would have helped.
Well,
It could have.
Well, I'll say this. 2 batters later, Merrill doubled into the corner. That might have scored the first run of the game.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. You're right.
Into the 5th inning. And guess who's up for the Padres? The hated 6-7-8 lefty. But for once, I was happy we had it. You know why? Because it got Tyon out of the game. They took him out.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
What?
Oh, my goodness. I did not expect that.
Craig Counsell was basically throwing us an olive branch. I don't think the Padres would have hit this guy from now until, November, the way he was pitching yesterday. But Counsell was doggedly determined to get his bullpen in. And, it was lefty. So what are you going to do? Well, look, Fermin hit a 2-out double. 2nd and 3rd. You got a chance to tie the game. Here comes Palencia. You had no confidence in Fernando right there. You just had none. He did hit the ball, but it was an easy fly out to right.
Can I say this about Fernando? There have been 2 Fernandos this year.
Yeah, that's a good call.
There has been
the what is he doing, Fernando?
Yeah.
And then the one that we
know and love.
Yeah.
The guy who can rob catches, the guy who hits a bunch of home runs at the beginning of the year.
How about the guy that we know and love was there in game 2? That's the game he played. Single, stolen base, 2 runs scored, game-saving play. But where was this guy yesterday?
And I don't want to hear he doesn't care, because he does care. All right, I don't want to hear it, and that's the favorite go-to for people out there.
That's idiotic.
But Fernando looked lost yesterday. I don't know what was happening with his.
I don't either. I don't get it. And we discussed it already. He looked like he had no plan up there.
He had no
at all.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he's that bad against slow changeups and curveballs down and away like slow stuff, that's all they're going to throw him the rest of his career.
We all knew it was coming.
And I can't believe that he's that bad against it, that they're just going to be able to get him out forever.
The other thing is he got way better with his strike zone this year. He walked more than ever. And it just
went back to
everything went away.
He didn't do it yesterday, swung at nothing but balls.
It went away. I think, I don't remember who tweeted it, but at a certain point it was Fernando has seen 6 pitches. He swung at all 6 pitches.
No, he swung at 4. Or no, he swung at all 6. 4 of them were balls.
Yeah.
That was what it was. So that's the 5th inning. Bush came up in the bottom of the 5th inning, and Michael Bush got jammed so bad that he basically hit the dumbest, easiest, softest pop-up down the third base line I've ever seen hit. But of course it landed fair and kicked away from Manny for a hit.
Yep.
There was a certain element to that yesterday. The Cubs got some softly hit hits.
Yes.
It's just part of baseball.
No,
what can I tell you?
There was definitely weird vibes, because the Padres actually won a bunch of challenges, and it didn't matter. All year they've been having these challenges overturned that shouldn't be overturned, but they had a really good challenge record yesterday.
6th inning, Arise hits a hard one-hop shot to Swanson, who makes another play, throws him out. What did I write down? Well, at least he ran all the way this time. Sorry, it's a cheap shot, Luis, but that's what you got to live with. And we should say that I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that might be our lasting image. I don't think Arise is coming back.
Oh, I don't think he's coming back, but I don't think that we're going to always remember.
There's a lot of people who don't like this guy, and we know them all.
Well, they can. You know what? They can have their opinions, but it doesn't make them right.
Manny walked in that inning with 1 out, and here come Bogarts. I'm sorry, here comes Merrill, then Bogarts. And I write down that this inning is going to be shot unless Merrill comes through here, because the on-deck hitter was going to be Bogarts, who I felt they would pitch around And then they'd bring Pomeranz in for the lefty thing. So if Merrill doesn't do anything here, the inning's over. This is why the 6, 7, 8 thing kills you so badly, because it even affects what's going on the inning before. As it turned out, it didn't matter because Merrill hit into a double play. That was the end of that inning. Cubs kept the door open, though.
Oh, yeah,
10
all
hits,
game.
10 hits, runners every inning. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. And in the 7th, Bogart steals second. Wow. What a risk. What a risk, and what a play by him with a broken foot. What a risk. And, he made it on the replay, but barely. If he's out there, it just stops another rally. But I didn't hate the decision because you had to try to do something, it felt like.
You did.
Iglesias gets a base hit, you're on the board. Only Horner goes up on a pitch that analytically had a 560 batting average chance of being a hit when it was hit. Wasn't a hit. He caught it. It just was that kind of thing. That was so frustrating. And it's hard to rip the team when you saw stuff like that happen in the game. But it did. Jake flied out. What else is new? Guy left at second base in scoring position. Just, this is a recording.
That is going to be the lasting image for me, is how many guys they stranded this year.
Bush homered, and now I'm thinking it's over. 3-0. And why, if you're going to warm up Morejon, why didn't you bring him in to face Bush? Mike Schilt. If I felt he missed one, that might have been it. Arise had a great game, though, on defense. We've ripped him enough. Throws out Horner at home on the grounder. Although I thought he was safe on the replay. I couldn't believe they didn't overturn that one. Thought the replay showed him safe.
Indisputable evidence.
Whatever. I'll go with the Jesse Agler theory. You're either safe or out. He looked safe. Padres got one break there, and on to the 9th inning we went. Merrill hit the home run.
And I'm back in.
So what am I supposed to say about DJ Rayburn here?
I
thought about it a lot.
I'll sit back.
I thought about it a lot. And yes, the obvious is there. Next year you'll have the head tap, and it's too bad they didn't have it now. But if it's going to make you feel any better, and there's not much that's going to, understand this, that I believe DJ Rayburn forever goes down as a choke umpire. I thought he called a pretty good game, but on one of the biggest moments, he choked it. He kicked it. He missed it. You can't miss there.
Yeah.
You can miss in the 3rd inning with no one. You can't miss there. And I think every time I hear DJ Rayburn, I don't care if it's a Tiger Guardian game in 2 years, I'm going to think, oh,
me too.
Can't trust this guy.
I will never forget Doug Eddings because of something
he
similar.
May choke. I think that's too bad for DJ Rayburn because I thought he called a good game, but I can't let him off the hook. You can't make that one.
No.
You can't.
No. And it doesn't mean that the Padres would have won, but it would have loaded the bases with no outs.
Well, let's play out the inning real quick.
Let's go to the other side because we only got 15 seconds. We'll play out the inning real quick.
Yeah, here's what would have happened had he got the call right when we return. Into the first hour of the program. We still have 3 hours to go. Yes, it's that time of year, Skrabe, where the Gwynn Chris program is back to a 4-hour affair from 2 to 6 every day, weekdays anyway. And you can also catch us, on the YouTube. Watch the show, chat along with everybody else. I understand the chat's lively today, Skrabe, as I would expect. On a day
I actually
after.
think the chat is very fair today.
Fair.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Good.
There's.
How do you think the host of the show's been? Fair,
I think it's
or?
been fair. I think you've been feeling the way that a lot of other people feel, and it's just hard to have it all just end in a, like, last year was hard too because they didn't score for like 5 games, it seemed like, but it was really 22 innings. And then this year they barely scored. I mean,
it was 24 innings last year, just to, clarify. It was 27 innings of very little this year. As I said, you total up 51 innings, and it's probably not fair to do that, but it makes our point. A 447 OPS. Over 51 innings of playoff baseball. That is 150 points lower than the player who had the worst OPS in baseball this year. That's how bad that is.
My thought about
I don't
this,
think you can win a series. You're pitching in this series. Did you know the Padres pitcher struck out 35 in this series and walked 3?
Wow.
They had a whip of 1.04.
Jeez, I did not realize
They
that.
had an ERA of 2.16. I don't know what else you could do. Defensively, the Padres played perfect. Am I mistaken? Did I miss a play? That they missed one? I don't think they missed a single play. Padres were letter perfect. Defensively, they ran the bases. They pitched, lights out. That's lights out pitching. I mean, you got to win that based on those numbers. But you're going to have to find some way to change this offense.
When I take a step back and look at this season, it's all for me going to be about the missed opportunity to win the division, because you don't have to go on the road. They were right there. They had the lead, and then they gave it up. Every time the Dodgers lost, they lost. They were losing to bad teams. They lost to the Twins. They lost to the Orioles back-to-back. Like, that stuff is the stuff that you need to take care of in order to go deeper into the playoffs.
I don't think that that's wrong, but I can't guarantee that it's right. And the only reason I say it is because we've seen a lot of number 5 and 6 seeds advance. It did seem, though, like this year's team definitely needed to be at home. Right?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is that stat I kept bringing up. The Padres played 12 series this year against teams with a winning record on the road. They only won 1. And that's what they were attempting to do in Chicago, was beat a winning team on the road. They couldn't do it. At home, they beat almost everybody they played. So, yes, we've seen 5 and 6 seeds go all the way to the World Series. So there was no guarantee. But for this year's team, it did feel like being at home was going to really matter.
More than ever.
And they weren't able to do it. They weren't able to pull it off. Look, they were 69 and 52 on August 13th. The rest of the way, they were 21 and 20. That's not a collapse, but it just wasn't enough. You had to do better. And they didn't, and they, ended up going to Chicago.
It's a tough place to play.
Of course it is.
We need to pay off on what we said we were going to. Go through the ninth inning.
Okay. A lot of people are going to say, forget all of that stuff. Forget the hitting. Forget the whatever it is. You need a new manager. You need a new GM. You want to, the owner to change the color of the City Connect uniforms. Whatever's going to do it. Didn't matter. It was the ump who stole it from us. First of all, we know that the Padres had plenty of other chances.
Yeah.
The umpire did not go 3 for 26, hitting with runners in scoring position.
He did not go 0 for 11 at the top 3 of the order. In
He
game
did
3.
not. But that call was unforgivable at that moment. And, Bogart said it after the game. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to do? It's over. There's nothing. It was horrible. There was even video of Bogarts going off the field, which I think we should discuss for people who.
It was actually the umpires going off the field. Bogarts was in
the umpires
dugout,
going off the field had to go through basically where the Padres exited as well.
which seems like a really terrible idea.
Really stupid idea. I didn't see any security there. Maybe one guy.
There was one guy who was
He would have been pretty helpless had the Padres really.
Yeah, you got professional
followed
athletes
through.
there.
The Padres were so angry. Pretty hard to blame them in that moment. And it did look like it was Bogarts who was doing a lot of the yelling. Fortunately, nothing happened out of that.
I also saw DJ Rayburn yelling at Bogarts. If you're the umpire,
you can't yell there then. Yeah.
You have to just keep walking. I don't care if they engage you, if they're saying horrible things to you, you have to keep walking.
But isn't that, I mean, and if that's what happened, but isn't that really the complaint we all have about it, baseball umpires?
Is that their egos take over and
yes,
they have to be a part of the show?
They're confrontational.
Yes.
They're confrontational.
It's a problem. Why does Manny need to stand in his locker 10 minutes after he loses and the season's over, but an umpire doesn't have to sit in front of the media and answer why he called that ball a strike?
Well, he choked. That's why I answered.
But I want to see him sit there and get some questions from the media. I think the umpires are too protected. And again, we're not blaming the loss on the umpires, but next year, this isn't even a thought. We're not even talking about this. We're talking about the great use of ABS next year.
You know what? I want to just warn everybody because I had a referee meeting last night. And of course, when I got my basketball referees and I went around all the referees and of course, everybody said, can you believe the umpire blew that call?
Yeah, right.
And I said, yeah, referees suck. What can I say? But
that's funny.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is the ABS will be in next year. But and I know that it's going to be reversed next year. The Padres are going to throw a pitch. It's going to be crucial. It's going to be a ball. The umpire's going to call a strike. The batter's going to tap his helmet. And the Padres are going to lose a strikeout, and the team's going to score a run on it. That's what's going to happen. Because the ABS is going to be there for both teams. Don't forget. The other team can tap their helmet too. I know in this case, sure would have been nice.
It would have been.
And I'm not saying they shouldn't have the ABS. I'm just saying, understand that it's going to go both ways next year. The Padres will have some calls taken away from them because of the ABS.
And you know what? I'm fine with that.
Okay.
If I'm a Padres fan, if I'm a Cubs fan, and they go to the ABS system and they say, "Oh, it's actually a ball," I have to take that because it's a ball. Like I can't be mad at. And I hated what the play-by-play. I can't remember his name right now.
Kevin Brown.
Yeah, Kevin Brown. He's not bad. I actually enjoyed him a little bit, but he said that it was a great framing job by Carson Kelly. The framing doesn't mean anything to me.
Well,
it's not a strike.
It won't mean anything with the ABS because that'll just tell you cut and dry. But after Bogarts walked, O'Hearn was hit by a pitch. That put runners at first and second with nobody out. Then Bryce Johnson was hit by a pitch. That loaded the bases with nobody out. Cronenworth came up and hit a soft tapping ground ball to the left side. I got to tell you, that is a not talked about play, but that was an incredible play that Shaw made to throw him out by an eyelash.
Yeah.
I thought no way he could get him there, but he did. No matter though. Padres had the bases loaded. Runners moved up to second and third. A run scored. It was now 3-2. That, of course, is replaying the inning with Bogarts actually getting the walk. The next guy with one out was Fermin. He flied to center. Guess what? That's a sacrifice fly that would have tied the game.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that the call wasn't huge would just be not telling the truth. It was huge. It's not the lone excuse. It may not even be a excuse because it doesn't matter. But to say it wasn't a factor, DJ Rayburn choked. And I just think, I think forever. I know when he comes to San Diego, and I'm not trying to try to incite anything.
Yeah, please don't.
But when he comes to San Diego, the fans are going to remember. and they're going to boo this guy relentlessly for a long time. And, but to me, I don't even know if they'll send him to San Diego. If they're smart, they wouldn't.
I wonder if they'll,
because we'll remember.
People won't remember. They'll be like, who was the umpire who called Xander out?
Do you know that there is not a Charger fan anywhere that can't recite the mistake that Ed Hockley made in a football game at Mile High Stadium against Denver 30 years ago?
Was it the Jay Cutler thing?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what happened.
I don't remember all the details, but I guarantee you, if I say the name Ed Hockley to a Charger fan, they remember.
Oh, Tyler said not to mention Rayburn grew up in Cubs territory.
Yeah. He's from Michigan.
Why are you putting a
Michigan.
Midwest guy behind the plate and gave 3 credits?
That's stupid.
I know.
All right.
You're not stupid.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a little break from it, but we're not going away from it. We have our countdown. Top 5 reasons the season is over. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Tony, hopefully, will be back from the airport here. The club flew in early this afternoon, and we'll get his views as Gwynn and Chris continues going all the way to 6 o'clock. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman wearing the 51 jersey right there. Crisello, yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out. The old Dallas Cowboy running back. Long time ago, Dwayne Thomas. He was kind of a mercurial running back. He finished his career actually with the Chargers. But he was one of the heroes of Super Bowl VI when the Cowboys beat my team, Skraby, the Miami Dolphins. But prior to that, Dwayne Thomas lost a couple of playoff games. I think he lost the Super Bowl the year before. And they asked him after the game, his thoughts on losing a Super Bowl. And he said, I look at it this way. If that's the ultimate game, then why do they play it again next year? And I've always thought about that when a season's over. We'll have another chance next year. It will come.
It will, but
not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
Yeah.
Waking up this morning, I just felt a little
empty.
hollow.
Yeah, a little empty. And you did a little thing on the chat there, getting people's
a poll. Yes,
a little poll on what you think the team needs. What were the choices there?
The choices for the poll. Let me pull it up real quick. I can't find. Oh, there it is. It was, what do the Padres need to change for 2026? More power hitters, new manager, better pitching, new GM. Thankfully, new GM came in last, but there were still votes for new GM. I don't know what AJ Preller did, but
I don't know. There's a lot of people. I want to say a lot, but I've heard a few whispers. People think maybe it's time. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying I feel like I've heard some whispers.
I've definitely heard the whispers as well.
And
I don't know how much I believe the whispers.
I don't either. I mean, all good things have to come to an end. He's been here a long time.
Is it like 15 years at this point or no? 10, 11, 12?
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. But the power hitter thing.
Yeah, that one, by the way, 76%.
76%.
New manager, 9%. I mean, there are a lot of people.
Always some manager people.
There are a lot of people disappointed with some of the, I guess, perceived stubbornness throughout the year.
Well, look, it's okay. The stubbornness is one, and the other thing to be, feel some type of way about today is that's 2 years in a row that Mike Schultz guys have not really brought it big time in the postseason, right?
Yeah,
I mean it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to blame the manager, but I think there's probably people who feel there's a connection. I mean, you want your guys performing at their peak right now. Instead, they were not even performing at medium level 2 years in a row. That is something that may bother some people.
When Mike Schultz took out Michael King, and again, this is not the reason they lost, I was like, why?
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
I know that he started out a little wild, but he found it.
No, he
struck
good.
out 3 guys, and then he just comes out.
He looked good.
That could have provided some sort of spark too.
Well, the bigger mistake was if you're going to warm Motorhone up, you might as well bring him in to face Bush.
Yeah.
Why leave Suarez in to face him if you're going to warm Motorhone up?
That was a gut punch.
So
that was the realization that
it's 3-0 gut punch. It was. Even though they rallied in the 9th inning, we'd already lost it. Felt like we lost it in the 7th inning there.
Yeah.
A couple of quick notes because there are some other things happening in sports. Not a lot, to be honest with you. It's there's no baseball playoff games today.
Should I have the gambit ready or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have it ready. We'll do a couple of gambits. We'll talk about the Aztecs play tonight. Your guy, Lamar Jackson, he's your fantasy guy, but he's out officially.
Yep.
I love how the Ravens just wouldn't say a word all week. Come on.
I could have started Matthew Stafford last
You know what
night.
I mean? It's just not. It's not national secrets, I mean, it's a football game. We can't tell you. It's secret.
Maybe
Whatever.
they were trying to see if he was going to get better.
Well, then just say that at least. They didn't say anything. Tired of that. Jaden Daniels going to be back in for the Commanders against the Chargers. Charger tackle Joe Alt, though, big deal again. He's out. Ankle. Brock Bowers going to play Sunday for the Raiders. McCarthy's still out for Minnesota. Wentz for the Vikes. Those are some of the big football news things. All right, let's gambit it real quick, Skrabe.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Before we get into the bets, football talk on 97.3 The Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right, Skraby, I'm trying to put the Padres season behind me as quick as I can.
Oh, yeah?
I'm ready. Look.
Oh, Aztec
got my
shirt.
gear. I'm going to the game tonight. I have to go to the game because Lori's Colorado State. So we're going to have a little,
how's Colorado
divided
State this
family. They're 1-3.
Oh.
So hopefully the Aztecs can beat them.
So as good as they were when I went there.
Yeah, right. Friday night out at Snapdragon. Aztecs favored by 5.5. That seems like a lot for a team that can't really score, the Aztecs, but their defense can score. So I'll take the Aztecs. I'm not going to root for Colorado State. Let my wife do that. Who do you like here, Scrape? You are a former Ram, so I get it if you want to take the points.
I don't cheer for Rams sports.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Aztecs. I can see them winning by a touchdown.
Maybe
2
20
field goals.
to 10. Are they going to actually give up some points? The Aztecs have had 2 shutouts and a field goal game defensively so far.
That's
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. Tonight, also, game 1 of the WNBA Finals. hopefully, at least for a week, the WNBA can get away from all this controversy, but they can't.
They can't.
All anybody wants to talk about is their stupid commissioner and the stupid things she said about Caitlin Clark, which anybody could tell you was stupid.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark made $3 million straight up on NIL at Iowa. She had a $28 million deal with Nike before she ever got into the WNBA. And then the commissioner says she ought to be, what was it, kissing our boots? Something like that, because we're giving her a platform? Are you kidding me?
That is someone who is really, truly out of touch.
Everyone in the WNBA wants this commissioner.
Oh, she's gone. There's no way she stays.
Anyway,
next you're going to get a boycott from the players.
Well, they've already talked about boycotting because they don't like how much money they make, and that's another issue. But tonight, maybe they can do some basketball. Game 1, Vegas minus 3.5 against Phoenix. Phoenix is on the road. The Mercury were the number 4 seed. Las Vegas was the number 2 seed coming into the finals. But Phoenix, of course, took out top seed Minnesota. And they're a maniac of a coach.
Yes.
Who stormed onto the court and tried to punch it out with the referees. I mean, the WNBA just lost their mind.
It's kind of like Jerry Springer a little bit. You never know what you're going to see.
Stop doing that. Yeah, people are going to start saying what you just said.
I'm going to go with Vegas.
I'll take Phoenix. I don't know much about Phoenix. I do know that their leading scorer is somebody named Satu Sabali. I like the name. 16.5 points for Phoenix. I say she goes over. Satu Sabali for Phoenix.
I'll say over too.
Why not? Tomorrow, I'll just do one. Who gets more runs, hits, or RBIs in game 1? Plus runs plus hits, RBIs. Ohtani or Judge? Ohtani faces, of course, the Phillies. Judge faces the Jays.
More
runs plus hits plus RBIs.
I can't.
You don't even want to do it, do you? Because you just don't want to even talk baseball right now.
I'm going Judge.
You're going Judge there.
I'm going Judge because it was so annoying to see the Dodgers celebrating.
I don't know that they'll be celebrating, but I'm going to take Ohtani because Philadelphia is just such an easy hitter's ballpark. So I'm going to take him in this particular one. All right. Couple of college football games that are pretty good this weekend. Alabama, 11.5 over Vanderbilt. Now, this seems ridiculous, but Vanderbilt is ranked right with Alabama. I don't know what's good. The world has lost its
because they lost.
access.
Alabama loses to Florida State, and they fell so much.
No, but Vanderbilt is like 11th. What is Vanderbilt doing there?
I don't know.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama last year. I like Skylar's Crimson Tide here. Minus 11.5. They're going to remember last year.
You know what? I'll go Vandy.
Atta boy. Go with the Doors. Commodores.
Oh.
One more. Miami of Florida minus 4.5 at Florida State. Rivalry game at FSU. This is the game that Miami used to win every year because Florida State would miss a kick wide right. Have you ever heard that?
No.
In that series?
No.
Oh, yeah. They'll wear T-shirts all over the place at the game. Miami fans will wear wide right because Florida State lost 3 years in a row, missed a field goal wide right at the end of the game.
That's brutal.
Yeah, it was back in the day. Who do you like here? Miami's ranked number 3, I believe. Florida State did beat Alabama, then lost to Virginia.
I'm going to go Miami.
On the road?
Yeah.
All right. Just for good old Bobby Bowden, who was one of my all-time favorites, I'll take Florida State. And then Sunday, Dolphins minus 1.5 at Panthers. First of all, how could you ever favor the Dolphins? But they are. It's at Carolina. This is Miami's chance to make me feel like they have a little bit of a team. I'll stupidly buy into it. Take the Dolphins on the road. Carolina looked pretty good at home a couple weeks ago against Atlanta.
And then they laid an egg last week.
They did.
I'm going to go with the Panthers, though.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right. There's a little daily gambit. When we come back to the Padres, our countdown, top 5 reasons that the season ended, period.
Yesterday.
It's over. So why did it happen? Why?
Why did it? Why? Hold on. I got to find that. I got to find it. Oh, no.
How
I can't
could this
find
possibly have happened?
Oh, here it is.
How did this happen?
There he is.
That
What
was
is that, like Super Bowl 48? I mean, that's like a long time ago.
It was
now.
the 2020 Super Bowl right before everything shut down.
Right before the shutdown.
Because Jimmy G saved the Bay Area by losing the game and overthrowing Emmanuel Sanders, and so there was no parade in San Francisco.
There was one in Kansas City, and a lot of people got sick.
Yeah.
No, I remember some of that.
Yeah, so Jimmy G is actually a hero for overthrowing Emmanuel Sanders.
It's not the only reason Jimmy G is a hero, believe me. All right, Gwynn and Chris back with more as we roll towards 6. It is a Friday, so there's that.
Well, Dylan.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. You idiot. Try. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything?
Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
By the way, in the other two playoff series that ended yesterday, Skrabe, the heroes were Dingler and Schlittler.
Yeah, two great names.
Two great names, right?
Dingler
hit the home run for Detroit, and Schlittler, who's going to just really cause somebody some problems one of these days.
Oh, someone's going to stumble, but you could say it was me misspeaking a name.
Yeah, that's true. 12 strikeouts. What a performance for a rookie in his first ever playoff game for the Yankees last night. All right. Yeah, it was 3-1 Cubs, we know. And it's the Cubs that go to Milwaukee. We're going to have our top 5 reasons why the season is over. That is our countdown. Before we get to that, Skraby, I want to remind everybody, but this hour is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Right now at Staples, save up to $125. That's off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends November 1st. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. You know, I read these things sometimes and little thoughts pop into my head, like exclusions apply. The reason I say that is I don't think they would turn anybody away from getting their print job done, but they probably have to put that because some guy came in once and wanted to reprint the Dead Sea Scrolls or something. You know what I mean?
I think they would be glad to.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Somebody
I think it's more
tried
about
to take advantage of something, so they have to put that in there.
I wonder, you probably can't bring in print like swear words or derogatory terms.
Very good. Yeah, you're probably right.
It.
Yeah, I want you to reprint this. It's a list of the 7 words you can't say on television, and it's in really big letters.
Yeah, and I need 150 copies of it.
Now, that's a good point. So exclusions apply for all of you thinking of doing that. All right, let's get to our countdown, Skraby. But do we have traffic?
Yes.
Oh, people need traffic then.
Yes, they do.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. A little busy on our roads this afternoon. Still seeing a little residual from this earlier crash south on 5 near the 52. Also south 163 getting a stalled car out of the way just past Balboa. Southbound 15 before Claremont Mesa Boulevard. There is a collision being cleared into the center divide. We've also got this hit and run crash, Arrow Drive off-ramp of northbound 15. Heading north on the 5 coastline just before Palomar Airport Road. Reports of a stalled car in middle lanes. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go. I walked in and I told Skraby, I said, we're doing our countdown today, and it's going to be the top 5 reasons why the season is over. And you said, I was afraid you were going to say that.
I mean, I kind of figured that was going to be it, but I wanted to test the waters.
You were hoping maybe we'd do like, breakfast cereal one today.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, boy. Yeah. We're not doing that today. Top 5 reasons why the season is over.
Number
5. I'll start. The stars were not aligned. And that just means you, Manny, and that means you, Fernando. You're the brightest, you're the best, and you have to be. It's the second playoff in a row for Manny. It's the first one for Fernando. Fernando went crazy last year, but I just don't know where he was yesterday. He just looked lost, and maybe hitting is just that hard. But
I would think it is, but
yeah, it still looked like he was even beyond that lost yesterday. 3 strikeouts and 4 ABs. The 2 of them combined to go 2 for 22. And without that, I don't see how you're supposed to win. I guarantee you, if Harper and Schwarber do that, the Phillies will go home.
Oh, yeah.
And if Judge and, whoever you want to name.
Jazz Chisholm.
Well,
or Cody Bellinger.
Better than him. Yeah, Bellinger. But, I mean, anybody. If Ohtani and Freeman do that, the Dodgers will suffer. Your best got to be your brightest, and they were not. That's number 5.
All right. My number 5 is something that I was like, oh, Chris, stop talking about this in the beginning of the year. But the overall one is lack of power this season. But the specific one was lack of 3-run home runs. They hit, 11? 10? They hit 10.
Yeah, it was the lowest. It was by far the lowest mark in baseball. They did hit 6 grand slams, so that made up for it a little. But they hit all of those in the last 2 months of the year. So the lack of the 3-run homer just frustrated me all year. And there we were yesterday, down 3-0 in the 9th inning, and I'm going, hey, if we could just get a 3-run homer here. And I'm like, I'm dreaming.
I mean, I definitely thought it.
Of course, we wanted one, but it just didn't happen this year.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me, you know me, I ref basketball. I hate ever blaming anything on the refs. But DJ Rayburn made my list. He just did. It was such a choke. I couldn't stand it. And we already discussed what the inning might have been like. And that's the deciding game. That's just the one you can't miss. And to me, if you're an official or an umpire, you can't blow that one. Your senses have to be heightened. He called the, what'd you say, 96% according to the charts?
I believe it was 96.
So that's
high.
good.
It was high, but all 3 calls went against all 3 of the biggest calls went against the Padres.
They're only going to remember one. DJ Rayburn's my number 4 reason, because despite all of the stuff we've talked about, if he calls that a ball, we might have won the game.
I understand
we
why
wouldn't be doing the list right now.
I understand why some people are saying you can't think like that, because you can't think like that.
I know.
Because you never know what happens.
No, you never know what would have happened after. You're right. But maybe the next guy, O'Hearn, would have hit a 2-run homer too.
Could have.
So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
You put Bogaerts on, though, and it's bases loaded, and you're putting major pressure on the pitcher, on the defense.
It would have changed.
Things could have happened. All right, my number 4. It's something that Chris told me all year, too. So I'm just stealing Chris's ideas all year. Couldn't win on the road. They just were terrible on the road this year. They were good at home, bad on the road.
They were okay on the road against bad teams. They couldn't beat good teams on the road.
Okay, there you go.
Right?
That's what
they finished.
Make it more specific.
They finished 38-43, which isn't awful, but it is when you consider they lost all their series but one on the road against against good teams.
There we go. That's more specific.
That's a biggie.
Number 3.
Number 3 was the injury to Ramon Laureano. I feel like that was important. I know you can look at it as an excuse. That's fine. However you want to do it. Again, the 6, 7, 8 lefty thing just hovered over the whole series. It was just there. And it wouldn't have been there if Laureano was, in the lineup. Number 1, number 2, he was one of your best hitters all season, since the minute you got him.
Yeah.
I should include a little Jason Adam here, because the Padre bullpen, as good as it was, would have even been more dominant, most likely. But they lost because the batting order wasn't what it was going to be. And that injury hurt. I hate to say excuses, because I think there's other things that ranked above this. but that was on there. It was something I thought about throughout the series.
Number 2.
Wait, I didn't go yet.
You didn't go yet.
My number 3.
Number 3 for you.
I'm going to talk more about this on the Skraby Show, which starts at 6 p.m. But Luis Arraez not being moved in the lineup when we saw that it needed to maybe be thought about. It wasn't really anything that was thought about. So I'll expound more.
Yeah,
Number 2.
You know, the stubbornness is something that I never really bought into, but a lot of people did, and a lot of people are saying, I told you so today.
I know there's a lot of I told you so's today.
For sure. Number 2 for me focuses on a man who is a United States Army officer and Union Major General in the American Civil War. He actually fired the first shot in defense of Fort Sumter, the opening battle of the war. He also fought in the Battle of Gettysburg. His name, Abner Doubleday. He's my number 2 reason why the Padres season is over.
Okay.
He invented this stupid game. You know, I mentioned it earlier. It's, again, people say, well, you're just letting the team off the hook. I'm not. If you listen to the whole show, we're clearly not letting the team off the hook. But this is baseball. Most of these teams lose.
There's only one that
game
wins.
is a game of failure. And the Padres failed miserably last year, but they're not the first team ever to go through this. It would be one thing if one guy just totally coughed it up and then you kind of, heaped it all. But this, to me, was baseball. And, you get the call. You get a ball to drop in. The Cubs don't get some soft shots dropping in, whatever. Different game. You win. We're talking about how great you are today.
Mm-hmm.
So Abner Doubleday gets my number 2 slot.
Shout out to
Abner
Doubleday.
Yeah.
My number 2 is going to be what you said already. Laureano getting injured when he did. It would have, like you said, split up the lefty. Don't know what would have happened, but Laureano being in the lineup would have helped, I think.
Number 1.
I couldn't hit. And that's it. Number 1, the hitless wonders. We went through the stats. I don't really want to say them a million times. We got to find a way to, put some offense together in the postseason.
Someone on the chat said, GD Abner.
They're upset with Abner?
They're
yeah.
upset with Abner.
Yeah. It's just they didn't hit. That's the number 1 reason, isn't it? They played, I said it earlier, they played really sterling defense, stole some bases, did what they could, bunted a little bit here and there.
All right, my number 1 is superstars didn't superstar when it mattered.
Okay, so my number 5 was your number 1.
Yeah.
Your big guys got to come through. We said it. If Judge goes 1 for 12 and drops a fly ball in center field, the Yankees lose the World Series. Well, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
So, and as I said it earlier, the Dodgers did this almost every year for like a decade or two. Doesn't make me feel a lot better, but misery loves company, as they say.
Misery does love company.
All right, there's our Big 5 countdown, or the countdown.
Big 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did we just create a merged segment?
A merged segment? No, the Big 5 will be on its own segment in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll also play a little round of Chris versus the fans.
At some point.
Yes, we got to try to get it in. Tony Gwynn Jr. should be here anytime now.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to his arrival. He came home with the team today, and we appreciate the fact that he is on his way in because, I don't know. That felt like a couple of days off after that game yesterday. I don't know. But,
I do appreciate the effort.
Yeah, you have to. He was a gamer just like we knew he was. Let's talk for a second, Skraby, about where they go from here. We'll get into it a little more with Tony when he gets here. But I'm looking at the team, and I'm saying, all right, what are we going to change? We got to change.
Tupac had a song called Changes.
Who did?
Tupac.
So did David Bowie, but what's that mean?
I don't care about David Bowie. I like Tupac's song.
All right, fine. But I'm just matching you with my Changes songs.
I didn't know there were so many songs about changes.
There's at least 2.
Okay.
There's at least 2. But I'm looking at, all right, so, the manager I think is silly. I think the general manager is, not the way to go unless there's something happening and they just have had enough
making a change in general manager.
I think those changes are idiotic. So I'm looking at the team. I'm looking at the hitting. I would love to bring almost every bullpen guy back. I don't think Suarez will come back because I think it's just time to
got a player option.
Give it to Mason Miller and go with everybody you've got. The starters will be interesting. You can be a little more specific on some of these contract things. But the thing I'm really focused on is the lineup. How are we going to make the lineup better? And I don't know what they're going to do. Because Fermin is the catcher next year.
Yes.
Cronenworth is the second base. Bogarts is at short. Manny is at third. Laureano is in left. Merrill is in center. Fernando's in right. Those things are all pretty much guaranteed at this point, unless there's a trade made.
Yeah.
A flat-out trade. So, the only position I didn't mention there is first. And so I think that's going to be where something has to be done. And that means the guy I defended all year, Luis Arraez, is probably the guy I'm going to have to say goodbye to because I think that they need a different something there. That's my first thought anyway.
What are your thoughts on Ryan O'Hearn? Getting him back for the long term so that he can play first base because he's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent. Jose Iglesias is, Dylan Cease is, Luis Arraez is, and then Robert Suarez, player option. Wandy Peralta, he's coming back. That's a player option, I would assume. Michael King's going to be an interesting one. Elias Diaz is going to be an interesting one. Remember, they get Joe Musgrove back.
Yeah.
So Nestor Cortez is also a free agent, but they get Jason Adam back in arbitration, and they got guys like Johnny Brito, who's still pre-arb. They got a lot of good things going on with the contract situation. Randy Vasquez is still in arbitration, so he can be back next year as a
I just
piece
think
of the
team is
rotation.
going to look really similar to this year. I'm not blowing it up. They did win 90. Let's not totally forget about it.
You're
it's
right.
hard to forget today, but they won 90. They pushed it. They had a shot at it. I think the team's going to be pretty much the same, but I do think you're going to see them have to do something at first base. I almost think not that they would ever or should react to their fan base. They almost have to send the message that they're making a change somewhere in the lineup because we just can't, we don't want to see this again.
All right, in a fantasy world, Chris, are you paying Schwarber what he wants to come here?
In my fantasy world, right, O'Hearn's at first, Schwarber's the DH, and they move the fences back.
Because Ryan O'Hearn's going to make a good amount of money, but I don't think that he's definitely not making Schwarber money.
It's not my money to spend. So, I mean, those are still questions that have to be down the road. I know Schwarber's going to be out there, but
he's going to be Schwarber's going to be very expensive.
Hit 56 home runs, people.
He's going to break
Alonso,
the bank.
Right. So I don't know that they'll break the bank, but sure, I'd love Schwarber. I have a bad feeling, though, he'd come here and somehow hit 29 home runs. I mean, other than Greg Vaughn, who's ever really cracked the ball over the wall here.
Fernando, 45, right? Or 42?
Okay.
He says, okay.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. I'm giving you that one. What do you think?
K Law says Schwarber is seemingly going to be with the Phillies for the rest of his career. I don't disagree with that.
No, I don't either.
I mean, if a team's going to be able to pay him, it's probably a big market team like the Phillies.
I just think that right now everybody's probably thinking we got to tear it all up and shake it all down.
Adam Klug has a great point. Schwarber would come here and hit 29 home runs, aka lead the team in home runs.
He would lead the team in that category. All right. Thanks, Adam Klug.
Let me get the rim shot for that.
Yeah, that was funny. Funny.
It's funny when facts are involved, Chris.
All right. Tony Gwynn Jr. coming in after traveling home with the ball club. We'll get some thoughts from him and more Gwynn and Chris. Here we go. It has to do with average temperatures in the year 2024. And this is the average temperature, high, maximum per day, minimum per day. It is going to be your job today to find the 25 states whose average temperature is under 55 degrees. California's at 60. You're looking for anything under 55. I'm not going to let you go first. I'm going to give Tony first.
Let's start with Montana.
That is correct.
Montana.
Montana's the fourth coldest state in the U.S., 44.5 degrees average temperature. All right, Skraby, that leaves a really obvious one for you. I gave Tony first, but he didn't take it. So you can.
I don't know that these are that obvious to any of us.
All right,
Chris.
Well, I think one is obvious.
Alaska,
I think. Thought Alaska was pretty obvious. 27.8 degrees average temperature in Alaska. 16 degrees colder than any other state. Tony's up.
Washington, the state.
State of Washington is on the list at 48.4. So Tony takes a 2-1 lead. Skraby, give me a cold state.
Maine.
Tony, you're up 2-2.
How about Idaho?
Idaho's pretty cold. Cold enough at 45.5, seventh coldest in the U.S.
Well, it's my favorite state to say. Minnesota.
Yeah, that was kind of obvious. Same as Idaho. Minnesota, 45.5, Tony.
How about North Dakota?
North Dakota, there
North
you
Dakota.
go. You found it, number 2, 43.7 there.
I'll take the lesser-known Dakota. The
South Dakota.
I think it's the more-known Dakota.
Yeah, I would think it's more. Tony, you are up in a 4-4 tie with no strikes yet.
How about Oregon?
Oregon, believe it or not, Oregon's cold enough to make the list. Tony's 5, Skraby's 4.
Never been here, but I knew someone from here and said it's very cold. New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's cold. Tony.
How about Vermont?
Vermont's cold, and it's right next to New Hampshire, so that was good. 46.3. Tony goes up 6-5.
How about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure that's going to be in there. Just below. Tony, you're up.
We're going to move to Wisconsin's neighbor. How about a little Illinois?
Oh. How about a little Illinois? Little Illinois didn't make it. You can get your first lead of the day here.
A state that I've been to, a state that has beautiful scenery, Wyoming.
That's number 3. Wyoming, 44.3. I can definitely second that.
Laramie is like the
notion, having been there every year to Laramie. It's cold. Tony.
Iowa.
Iowa.
That's a great one.
Is it?
Has to be on there.
51.5. Iowa just snuck in there.
I'm going to bank on the part of the state that's not attached to the paw is cold. Michigan.
Michigan is a winner. Very good. The Upper Peninsula you're referring to.
The pod.
How about Utah?
Utah, Salt Lake City and company. Yep,
Park
it's
City.
cold there. 51.2. That is correct. Tony hits it. 8-8. The only difference is Tony's got a strike.
Nueva York.
Nueva York.
New York for Chris.
It does get cold there in New York. 49 degrees average temperature in New York is Tony.
Connecticut.
What about Ohio?
You ready to come up with an answer, Skraby?
Ohio.
Too hot.
I know.
hot.
I was thinking that because it's next to Illinois, but I live
Too
there
hot.
and it snowed.
Is that what you want, Ohio?
Yeah.
54.9.
Oh!
It's the last one on there. Skraby goes up 10-9.
How about a little Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Frigid old Pennsylvania.
Frigid old Pennsylvania.
Home of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg. And cold enough at 52.1 to make the list.
Pennsylvania, baby.
10-10.
Massachusetts?
It has not been said. Doesn't mean it's correct, but it is 51.2. Skraby hits a bell.
Massachusetts.
11-10. Tony, you're up.
Oh, man, this is hard.
There are 4 left.
Cold. How about Indiana?
Oh.
Indiana. No, Tony. That's a strike. 55.2. Indiana just over by 0.2.
Some of the cold spots in the country are in the plains. Nebraska.
Yeah.
Lincoln. That's all I got on Nebraska.
Skraby's doing okay. That's correct.
Wow!
52 degrees.
Colorado.
Skraby for the win.
One of the most forgotten places in the United States
Is
Rhode Island.
And it is correct.
Yes! Sorry, that was a lot. Does that mean I win?
Game is over. Yes,
Game
you've
is
won.
over!
That was a stupid game.
I didn't think you'd like it since it didn't win it.
Those are my shoes on the glass.
Sound like you're playing basketball over there. Sounds like shoes squeaking on the floor.
Lack of rhythm is what that's called.
I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Times or instances in the history of the world where anybody would rather go to Milwaukee over San Diego, but today was probably one of those instances for sure. The Padres had to come home from Chicago after they were eliminated from the playoffs yesterday. Tony Gwynn Jr. called it all yesterday at Wrigley Field and was on the ride home today. I'm sure it wasn't as sad as we think it might have been, Tony, but
No,
you put your heart and soul and everything into it. I kind of opened the show with all of that. I mean, the emotional part of this, we don't, we want to look at the statistics and the averages and all that, but for anybody who doesn't think the Padres care or fight, I mean, all you had to do is see the ninth inning yesterday. They were down to the last out with a tying run on. And you put a whole soul into a season, man. When it's done, it's hurts, right?
Yeah. And not to mention several guys had to be restrained from going after the umpires. As they were going
you got to tell us about that a little bit.
I'll give you guys a little insight on the back end. That made me sad. That night, more so than in 22 when we got to the NLCS.
Phillies,
more so than last year.
Even last year.
Yeah, man. That one just it just hung with me a lot longer. Typically, part of the reason why I enjoy doing this job of calling these games is because for years as a player, you take these games and these at-bats home with you. You don't get to
you
sleep.
thought you'd try to sit up in the booth.
So
and,
I sit up in the booth
and
for the most part, I can wash my hands when the game's over and go home and sleep.
Yeah.
Not last night.
Yeah.
That one hurt. And I think for me, watching the game and understanding what Tyon was going to try to do all game, and then watching, man, I can't even find another way to say it, a lack of execution, of forget moving runners, things of that nature, just understanding what the pitcher's trying to do.
Yeah.
There were only a few guys that actually, I think executed what you needed to in order to beat him. I mean, he stayed away from everybody. He was never going to get you anything in to do any work with. And I think we just kind of fell into his trap. I mean, Manny smoked that ball to center. He was on it.
That was one of them.
Luis Rice pretty much hit the ball hard every time he came
left center. Yeah.
Every time he came up. And then you had O'Hearns. He had a changeup down. And, to me, that says if he was ready for the heater, he got out in front of some off speed and
he bounced it to the right side.
Hit it hard through the right side.
Yeah, but they were rolling
outside
over.
of that. He was just continuously throwing the breaking ball away or the sinker down, and we just kept
helping him.
Yeah,
right.
Play right into his game.
I had already written it down in my notes on a scorecard. Funny, as I make my notes during the game, and I said we can't keep pulling the ball. And that's about when you sent a text to us and said, we keep pulling the ball, we're going to be in trouble. And that, it was. I can't imagine they went in with that game plan. What happened, Tony? What happens up there?
That's the part where, sometimes it just seems like, it's cliche. And like you get into these big time moments. The hardest part to do is not only slow the game down, but slow your mind down. And be able to process what it is he's trying to do to you as a right-handed hitter.
Right.
We'll go with Toddy's bat because he probably had 3 of his worst ABs of the season. I thought.
Yeah, the first 2 were especially.
I thought he battled on the third one with the hard righty.
Yeah.
He goes. I think it's a sinker away to start, a slider down, and then he punched him on a slider down and away. And
neither of those last 2 were anywhere really close.
No,
and he's so much better this year at laying off. We talked about it all year.
And that's what I'm saying. So you start to see things that are, out of character of what you've been watching all year.
Yeah.
Except this. The one thing that wasn't out of character ultimately revealed itself, and that was the offense not being able to put together runs. I mean, we often talked about it during the season. man, the offense just it can't get going. It can't get going. Outside of that, that stretch in April and maybe a week in like August where they were putting up some runs, it was a struggle really all season for the offense.
I wasn't trying to be critical of it. When I saw, though, that among the 12 playoff teams, they were 10th in RISP and they were last in homers. And that's just what it was. And I look at that and I'm like, how are they going to score?
Listen, if you're going to be last in homers,
you can't be last in the other.
You can't be last in runners in scoring position.
So I just thought, how are they going to score? And yesterday again, when the great moment of that double play, which people aren't going to remember ever, but Arise and backhanding it and Estrada covering,
perfect throw too, so that
right. And
so
under
that
the
Bogey
circumstances, that was a wonderful double play. And I know we all said, oh, good, it's only 2-0. But the first thing, again, I wrote down was, okay, but how are we going to score our 2? I was worried even in the third inning. And, it just turned out that way. So
that was just for the first 4 innings. After that, you get into bullpens, it gets more difficult. That's the whole reason why teams.
And that's why you press earlier in the game.
That's why you try to press early. And so, that part was, as I'm doing the game, was frustrating to see it happening and know that these guys are capable, but just aren't rising to that moment.
But I've also been in the dugout with a lot of teams over the years, not the Padres, not this. I get it, the level you want to say. But I've been in dugouts with teams that have been getting changed up on all day. As a matter of fact, that was me pitching. And I used to hear other dugouts saying,
what do you mean changed up on?
Throwing slow stuff, change-ups, curves off the plate. I used to hear it from the other dugout. Wait for it, hit it the right field. And then nobody would do it. It's just easier said than done.
Yeah.
And so even when you're doing it, sometimes you can't help it.
Listen, it is easier said than done. But like if the goal is genuinely to get to a World Series and win a World Series,
got to get done.
Those things got to get done. And so that sucked, man. I don't know why that one hit me the way it did, but that one that wasn't fun.
I thought part of it, and I said to Skraby, was that the fact that it was so wide open this year. I felt like it really was a missed opportunity. Man. There's no great team.
If I'm being honest, I don't think either of these two teams on this side of the bracket have a chance against whoever
the Dodgers or
the Phillies. I really don't. Now, something could change. Sure. It could get hot. Someone could get hurt. Whatever. Yeah. But we had the best chance.
Right. We did.
I thought
we had a really good path in a season where only one team won over 95 games, and that was the Brewers, who nobody was really scared about. So. Yeah, missed opportunity for sure, Tony. All right, 9th inning, I don't want to go straight to it, but you're here. So I said earlier, you just can't make the mistake then. I know.
What are we talking about?
The call by the umpire.
DJ Rayburn.
The thing is, I understand and I look in the mind of umpires and referees because I do it, but in the close, what am I saying? One last minute, 2 minutes of a tie basketball game, I just have to be uber locked in. I know I can't miss a call here. Maybe I could, kick one in the first quarter, but here I can't do it.
Yeah.
And to me, he kicked it at the wrong time, obviously. And what are you going to do? I mean, you can't take it back. But tell us what you learned about some of the stuff, because it was kind of funny.
I mean, at first I didn't see the incident until
you didn't see
later on that night. I didn't.
Yeah.
I was so down about the loss. I didn't think to look over.
Did you think for sure, because you're probably not watching on the TV screen, you're watching from the booth. Did you say to yourself, "That's ball 4"?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So,
without a doubt.
Yeah, it was obvious.
And listen, and this is the tough part, right? About missing a call like that on this stage. Outside of that, he missed like 3 pitches
he had a good
total,
game.
3 or 4 pitches, I think, total.
He did.
But he missed the big one. And so, listen, this is why the case for the ABS is ultimately there, right? It's not so much during a regular season, because, yes, those things will get overturned throughout, but it's going to be for one of these calls.
One of these moments.
That that ultimately could change the way the whole inning plays out at that point.
I mean, it is 40 years ago, but the 1985 World Series was decided in large part because a umpire missed a call when Todd Worrell touched first base, and the umpire didn't see it and ruled the batter safe. And because of that, the Royals scored 2 runs to win that game and the next game.
Yep.
So the Cardinals would have been champs. The same thing with the Galarraga, right? He would have had his perfect game. So this is why all of this has finally come into be. I just felt like he choked a little bit, and I think it's going to follow him. I do. I don't know that, Padre fans, I don't think will hold a grudge, although some will. But I think when DJ Rayburn does his next World Series game, he better be locked in, because I mean, that to me can follow a guy making a mistake at that point. Just was bad that you can't do it.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without
it
a
will.
doubt.
So the hitters and the pitchers will think that.
I mean,
to a certain extent.
I'm talking about in terms of it following him.
Yeah.
It certainly is going to. That's not going to go away soon. I asked Xander, because before we all kind of parted ways, I was like, "Hey, what did DJ say to you?" And I was talking about
in the batter's box.
No, I was initially talking about the whole incident.
Oh, when they walked off the field past the dugout,
and he was like, "I don't even know what he said. Honestly, I just
was so mad."
But he did say when he first, when he initially turns to look, and he's kind of like, "Man."
Yeah, he threw his hands up a little bit.
Yeah, he said that DJ said to him, "You got that down?" As like
you thought it was,
and for those who may not, that's a common way for the conversation to go. No one's going to be like,
oops, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, it's going to, you had that one down. All right, I'll take a look. Something along those lines. But, obviously when you say you got that one down, I don't think Xander really, that wasn't the answer he was looking for. So then that's when he got a little bit more upset.
Yeah, that doesn't, and now Xander's like, you're wrong. You're wrong. I cannot handle you being wrong.
Not now. No. Not now. You can't be wrong.
But it was, that's again, I don't even want to it's a big part of the game.
No, but every time we go there, people are going to think we're making excuses, the Padres, and I don't want to do that.
That's right. That was just a big piece at the end, but there was a whole lot that could be done before.
All right, DJ did not go 3 for 26.
No,
he did rip.
He did not.
RISP.
RISP.
But I call it RIP for the Padres.
RIP.
Unfortunately. All right, what do you have? Something there? We're going to break. Traffic?
Yeah, that was what the gesturing was. He wants to go to break.
Yes, I want to talk about on the other side. Yes, this is the break gesture. And if Chris doesn't see me, I keep doing it until he sees me. I want to talk about, because I got a text this morning that the national media is just crushing the Padres for going after the umpire. And I'm thinking every other team, it was a Kansas City radio station that they were sending me saying that it wasn't a good thing.
Are you talking about the incident at the dugout?
At the dugout, yes.
Because if you didn't see it, maybe not everybody saw this. There is video of the umpires leaving the field yesterday.
So just to kind of explain to everybody why they're leaving the field, right?
Right. Okay.
So they're leaving the field, and their locker room, the way Wrigley is set up, is at the same side the Mike Schultz hangs out. So it's going down
right
that
through
side,
that path,
and it's
yes.
off to the right. And so they have to go down this way,
man,
if they want to get
dressed.
So
they had to walk right past the Padres moments after everything happened. And we don't know. We just could see a lot of yelling and some finger pointing.
Yeah, but something was said to the group.
And apparently Rayburn said something back, which really probably wasn't too smart.
Rayburn turned around and came back for more. And that's where he got
That's where Xander saw red.
That's where he saw red.
I would see
Xander
that
went,
too. I would see red too. And I did not expect Iglesias to be so. I mean, he was upset.
Those dudes definitely.
They put everything into it, man. That was tough one to handle. Tough one to handle in that regard.
But basically, what I wanted to see, now that we're talking about it, I mean, every other playoff team's going to be that mad, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
First of all, if they happen,
I guess the Kansas City team would be just
fine
with it.
They would be just, the Kansas City guy, I typed back, why don't you worry about your terrible Royals season? And he was like,
back.
Okay, now you sound like one of the you sound like one of the tweeters we get.
Yeah, because it came at me and I was like, what? And then they said, hey, we had 2 winning seasons in a row. I'm good. And so the bar is definitely lower in other places in the country.
I mean, any team that would have had the umpires coming through their dugout after
there would
live,
have been something.
and it would have been something for sure.
I think the umpires probably should have just waited on the field.
That's again
for everything to clear.
Just go through the Cubs dugout and then go to their.
You got to understand what's going on there. Read the room. Read the room.
As I said, he missed 4 calls all day, but he missed probably one of the bigger ones.
You got that down? Yes, I do.
As a matter of
everybody
fact,
in the world had that down.
Everybody in the world had it down. There's a guy in Kathmandu doesn't even know the rules had that down.
He's like, that was a ball.
Yeah, for sure. All right, when we come back, I think we should talk with Tony here a little bit about, where we're going to go here in the next few months once some of the sting wears off, and some of the things that go along with that as Gwynn and Chris continues after traffic.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, put me on. And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was just saying it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, put me on. And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was just saying it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth, but if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip.
As mentioned earlier, we don't want to see you today.
I didn't want to see you guys either, actually.
It's even, yeah. But here he is. He's back.
I was planning my birthday dinner in Milwaukee.
Yeah, did you have a place picked out and
did,
everything?
yeah.
Tony's birthday tomorrow.
I tried to
birthday.
speak it into existence and everything. Like I did everything I could.
Where were you going to go in Milwaukee?
It's a place called Carnivores.
Oh man, jeez!
Even if that was the biggest 5-star restaurant in the history of the country, and I told Lori we're going to a 5-star Michelin-rated restaurant.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be.
And
able
then
to
I
get
said,
by.
but the name of it is Carnivores. There'd be no way we'd be going there. Carnivores.
I mean,
wow.
do they have dinosaurs delivering food to you?
No, it's a steak. It's just a cool name for a steak.
Sounds awesome.
I mean, that's something works in Milwaukee. I don't know if it works here.
For sure.
All right. Happy birthday, though, ahead of time to you.
Thank you, sir.
Tony. And for the Padres. Eventually, it'll, the dust will settle and everybody will, get to about next year. Skraby's got all the contract stuff there. But I said earlier, to me, even though today it sounds like the thing to do, I don't think you should make a whole lot of wholesale changes. Number one. Number two, you don't really have the ability to do so because you have a lot of really long-term contracts. And the one thing that A.J. Preller did, even though you don't want to hear it out there at the moment, is he's put the Padres in a position to be competitive year after year after year. Now, I know somebody out there is saying, and I would a lot, are saying, well, at this point, we don't want to just be competitive anymore. We want to get over the hump. So what do you think to that end, or is it too early? The Padres will be leaning towards trying to do.
I think it's impossible to know. We don't even know financially what payroll is going to look like. I mean, mind you, they slashed payroll this year from Skraby, you're the payroll guy. How much did they slash it?
Let me go look up those numbers
from last year. It was I think Manny made mention to that, right? It sounded like Manny wants O'Hearn back. He said
that's a pretty good guy.
He said his name
a few times
personally.
Yeah.
Everyone he used his name specifically. I think you're going to get a bargain in Ramon Laureano and his team option. I mean, $6 million, 6'5", I think it's 6'5". That's like the going rate for like a backup outfielder.
No, he's coming back.
And so you're gonna have him back.
Yeah.
You got some questions. Michael King, free agent. Will he take the qualifying offer? Who knows? Dylan Cease, free agent.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys, a lot of people feel a way about that, but I mean, he was one of the dudes who actually stepped up come postseason time.
I get the feeling that people are out there all expecting that Cease and Arise will not be back.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee any of that. But as I said earlier, Arise may be the only position that you could replace. Because if O'Hearn is re-signed, Laureano, everyone else is a long-term contract. They're not going anywhere unless they make a flat-out trade.
Yeah.
And they're not trading Jake. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. They're not trading Jackson. They're not trading Fernando. They're not trading Manny. I don't think Bogarts.
Maybe they could do. I mean, it's definitely
right. That would shake everything up if they go there.
We don't. Yeah. We're so far out in knowing. I mean, shoot, AJ's under the last year of his deal coming up. You got Schulte just got an extension. If I'm not mistaken.
Pretty sure he did before the year, so he wasn't lame duck.
And then you got all those free agents that you got to make decisions on. I think everybody else, as you said, this team is pretty much intact. The question now will be, what needs to be changed? We talked about the slug being down. I mean, is that a result of philosophy, or is that a result of guys not having, the type of years that they're used to having?
The low-hanging fruit, of course, is we just fire Victor, because we've already talked about it.
We can literally do that every other year.
Do it every year. So that seems silly.
Not to say that they won't. I'm just saying that's a Band-Aid. Like,
I agree.
Can anybody else name me a name of a hitting coach?
In baseball?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm racking my brain.
Right?
Who do the Dodgers have? You think we would know that one?
So I mean,
yeah.
At the end of the day, you whether you get a new hitting coach or not, the players still have to perform ultimately. So
I agree, and Manny and Fernando, I'm sure, going to take it upon themselves to say, look, we got to do more in a series than that. So those guys know.
If you want to simplify it, I mean, we said that from the very beginning.
We said they're going to go as far as they can go.
Right.
And they didn't, they took, and the funny thing is they both had a good game, which was the one we won.
Yep.
So there you go.
They literally were the reason why we won the one game.
They won. That's right.
Yeah.
And I also will go back to my 4-run theory, because 4 would have been enough to win all of the games.
Yeah, you'd have been on your way to Milwaukee a little bit earlier.
Couldn't get to the 4. Damn 4.
So that one was yesterday it sucked for me more so than any of the other two.
What do you go over and congratulate the other broadcast? Are you that kind of guy?
They're not there. The radio guys are.
Pat Hughes, you go over and give
Pat
him a
and Ron
shake.
Were both there. I did not.
I'm not a good loser, so
we did it through the window. We all kind of
a little. Okay,
good luck.
That's fair then.
Yeah.
When I lose, I if the other person comes by, I'll say hello. Okay, good game, but. No, I don't like losing, even as a ref, as an announcer. But it is funny that you say you don't take it back to your hotel with you. I sometimes still kind of do, even though I don't play at all.
I did that long enough, and I remember the first time I did a game, and I was able to go home and sleep.
You didn't do it?
I was like, oh, this is life.
How do you do it?
This is what all you people have been doing when you come home and you sleep like this?
I'm going to have to take a class, because I close my eyes and the first thing I think of if the kids lose a last second heartbreak on a, basket doesn't go in.
I take that back.
It's first thing I think of.
When they're going through one of their losing streaks, those ones stick a little bit longer, but the everydayness of baseball and
there you
win one, win a couple, you lose one. It's hard to get to. I don't want to get to that place anymore. But I got there last night as I just rolled around.
We all rolled
thinking
around.
About.
At least you attempted to roll around. I bet you a lot of people just
James
said, forget it.
on shutting us down. irritated me.
Well, I mean, if you didn't hear
if
the,
you didn't
the
hear
TV
this, but
broadcast,
Ben
whoever-
McDonald had the classic quote before the game. I wrote it down. By the way, he did a pretty good job. He's not bad, but he said, "I don't know," because he has that Louisiana twang. He does. I don't know if they could have a better starter for Game 3 anywhere, anytime than Jamison Taillon. I thought, okay, maybe Koufax, Pedro, and if you want to just have this vintage, I'll take Skubal or Anyway, I like Taillon.
Schlittler, I would go with.
Cam Schlittler, maybe, right?
Maybe that was his point, was that it's a Game 3. You've already used those guys.
Maybe.
But
he was a little hyperbole.
He was laying it on thick.
Laying it on thick.
And he looked like a genius.
He didn't look bad, I must say. All right, we'll do a little Big Five, some of the other stuff. I got to tell you one thing. It's 2.5 hours into the show. And I know it's kind of a different show than a lot of the ones because it's the day after the season. But how about a round of applause for this guy? That's the first I've heard of it in 2.5 hours.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
2.5 hours he's held off.
One more for 4 wins.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
I'm not mad at that at all,
There
sir.
we go.
I knew
today was going to be.
I thought you might open with it, frankly.
No. I knew today was. Let's just grab the bull by its horns and let's
Skraby
go.
read the room. He read the room well.
You did.
Yeah, because I put out a tweet right after the game last night saying, "Oh, time to go 0-2." Didn't get much reaction, so I think people were a little bit like, "Who cares about your 49ers, dude? We just lost in the
I got to tell you,
playoffs."
there weren't too many Padres sports fans who went over and flipped the Niner game on last night. I probably will tell you.
Mac Jones gave his life for the 49ers last night.
All right, I'll let you talk a little bit more about it in the Big Five
He's
when we
itching
come back.
to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Gwynn and Chris.
over, but another season continues. Got Aztecs tonight against Colorado State. 7:30 start out there at Snapdragon Stadium. It must be one of those made-for-TV events. I'm going to the game.
Are you?
Well, yeah. I got I'm ready. I got to take Lori.
You wear that shirt every day.
I know I wear it all the time, so it wouldn't matter. But no, Lori's Colorado State. You guys probably remember that. So we will we'll be a family divided tonight out at the stadium. Looking forward to seeing a little Aztec football. Skraby has a 49er victory. Did they make the Big Five, or do you want a special segment for them?
I honestly wasn't even going to talk about them at all today. Seriously.
He said,
Okay.
Seriously. I mean, today is not a day about the 49ers, although Mac Jones did do some great things. Al Michaels tried to create a quarterback controversy during the game last night. He was like, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones is winning games. What about Brock Purdy?
What's up with Al lately, man? It feels like he's
stirring it up.
He's airing out dirty laundry on a guy who can't even defend himself. He's been dead forever now.
Because he took the, I don't know, the comedians, but once you get to a certain age, you just say whatever.
That's right.
He doesn't care.
Remember
when he said the prime matchups were boring on the air?
He's like, I'm Al Michaels. I'll say whatever's on my mind.
Tell you what, Chris. If we can do this show long enough, man, you might be able to take us to places we ain't never gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you saying I still have a filter?
No, I'm saying you definitely still have a filter.
All right. Yeah, well, maybe it may go away pretty soon, actually. By the way, you should mention that, San Diego's own Warner made the big play in the overtime.
Fred Warner always
this
making a big play.
We don't talk about enough about him as a local.
It's because he's a Niner.
But
it's because he's a Niner.
We
got Skraby here.
I know, but he is so good.
He is good.
All right, Scrabe, let's go Big Five. We'll get traffic first.
Yes.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Turning out to be a very tough afternoon on our freeways. South on 5, an accident just before Garnett. Couple cars over the right shoulder. Also south on side of the 805 before Murray Ridge, accident over to the right shoulder. And south on side of the 15, accident blocking the HOV lane right at the southbound 163. Further down, another accident south of Dean right at the southbound 805 connector. Accident on south on 125 near Fletcher Parkway. No details as to whether that is blocking lanes. North 5 coastline's been a bit tough. Accident clearing past La Costa. Another accident clearing near Poinsettia. And northbound side of the 15, Via Rancho Parkway. Collision involving a motorcycle. This one is being cleared out of lanes. And now East 56, just past Carmel Country Road. Collision blocking middle lanes. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I forgot I was on camera there for a second.
We have a chat real quick from DJ Royalty 2. Says, well, first off, this is the one they sent first. Sometimes I can't stand you guys, but truth be told, I'm gonna miss you guys. Talk Padres baseball.
Sometimes you can't stand us.
Yep, that's fine.
I appreciate the truth, man.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you for
I'm
being
happy
here
to
with
hear him
us.
say you guys. It's
Yeah,
usually
it's not
just you,
just you.
Chris. It's just usually me.
And then
I'm
the
happy to
more
hear that one.
infuriating message from DJ Royalty 2.
Oh, he sent another one.
He came back.
Oh.
This is coming back.
And I just watched a motorcyclist backwards park.
Oh, yeah. Motorcycles backward parking now.
Listen, that's like the ultimate. You don't just get in there, skirt out.
I can't do it today. I can't do the backward parker thing today.
I park backwards.
I know
Yeah,
you. I
I know
know.
you
Yeah,
do.
I already know you that you do. But I came to the parking lot 2 days ago. Some guy was backing in, kept running up on the curb, Couldn't figure it out. I had to just sit there and watch this dude, so I backed up and I went the other way. It drove me insane. Just absolutely insane. I even yelled at him, "If you can't park backwards, don't do it!" With my windows up.
Number 5.
The Big Five is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And the reason the windows are up is because in my younger years, I would have yelled with the windows down and it would have caused me problems. All right, so let's get back to the Padres real quick. Tony's going to be up first here. But there have been a lot of rumors about AJ Preller and his status with the Padres as general manager. Will he be back next year? Will he not be back next year? So how much truth, Tony, to the rumor that AJ Preller could be walking or set walking after this season?
I don't know how much there is truth to those rumors at all, but I think it's a little strange that he has been allowed to have 1 year on his deal.
Still.
Yeah.
His contract's up, right?
Is it up now?
Let me make
or does he have 1 more year?
Let me just make sure. But anyway,
I think either way, I think that's not the norm. So, I don't know.
You're not sure what to believe here.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I would think it would. I don't think it would be a good move. I can tell you that.
Yeah. That would be tough. Chris, what do you think?
Did you find it?
No, I'm looking.
No, okay.
How much truth to the rumor, Chris?
I have no idea, but I will say the same thing. I'm on record right now saying it's a mistake. Number 1, Pivetta. Number 2, Sheets. No one else wanted those guys. He did. Number 3, not only did he add at the trade deadline, but he kept the payroll the same. Who else does that? I think you got to look at some of that stuff. But how long has he been the GM, Tony? We've been looking at 15 or
14 or 15. He took over in mid-season. I think he took over mid-season 14.
Okay. So that's 11-ish years. That's the only thing that concerns me is that sometimes somebody will sit back in an office somewhere and go, it's just kind of time for a change. But I don't think it is.
I don't know. I'm having such a hard time finding his contract.
Well, they've erased it from
the interwebs. I'll keep looking, but that is weird that you can easily find everybody else's contract out there except for AJ Preller's. He's a mystery.
Number 4.
All right, let's go to managerial choices out there, everybody, because the Rangers' search for Bruce Bochy's replacement is centered on one Skip Schumacher.
This has been in the bag.
Former National League Manager of the Year, who worked in the organization for the past year. Quote, "We have a lead candidate internally that we're focused on," said Chris Young. Our hope is that we don't have to interview anybody else. So Tony or Chris, is Skip Schumacher the right choice?
Yep.
AJ's contract's until the end of 26. Thank you.
So he's got 1 more year.
Yes. Chris?
I said, yep. I think Skip Schumacher will be a really good manager. I think the Padres, had him in this organization, which is probably why there's some sort of connection to Chris Young. So it makes pretty good sense to me. And I thought we were kind of close to even – I don't know if we were close to hiring him here. Oh, we couldn't because he was still with the Marlins.
He was the Marlins at the time.
They did a good job with the Marlins.
Took him to the playoffs.
See no reason why Skip Schumacher should not be employed again. And Texas does seem like the place. I'm surprised your guy, Buster Posey, is,
Oh, he already said Bruce Bochy's out.
Yeah, said no way with Bochy.
Said that, huh?
I don't think he actually said he's out, but he
said he's out. He said he's thinking about maybe offering him another job in the organization.
Okay, well, that means he's out.
That's what it means.
Robert Murray is reporting that Kurt Suzuki interviewed for the Giants job recently.
That's not the name that I heard that made more sense, but I can't remember the one that I did hear that made sense.
Oh, I heard Albert Pujols as well, which doesn't make any sense to me. But
makes zero sense.
One of my friends was like, he needs to be it.
Cardinals is what I heard, that one.
Ollie Marmol's going to be?
Oh, not the Cardinals.
The Angels.
Sorry.
Yeah, because Ron Washington.
All I know is that do you have to fire every manager that doesn't make the playoffs every year?
I mean, Carlos Mendoza is the prime guy to be fired.
And keep him.
Yeah.
It just seems so crazy. These people are so impatient.
Is it the people or the people?
The owners, the people, whoever.
All right.
Number 3.
Wait, did I answer?
No, it skips Schumacher. Well, you pretty much answered. It skips Schumacher, the right choice.
Yeah, he's the right choice. He, he came into that job as Will Venable got the job in Chicago, who was kind of in the spot Skip Schumacher was, and so it makes sense. I mean, Skip is he's already proven that he can be a good manager, and if he's connected to his front office and him are connected, man, what can he do? Because he did all of that while not being connected, with ownership, at least from that standpoint in Florida. Or Miami, excuse me.
And he's in the AL, so the Padres don't really have to worry about it too much.
Number 3.
Live Golf's UK entity apparently in 2024 lost nearly $500 million, bringing its total losses to over $1.1 billion since 2021. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has committed to covering these losses, which have raised quote-unquote material uncertainty about the entity's ability to continue operating. Tony, you're up first. When do you think the backers are going to shut this down?
They keep losing money like this.
A bill.
It's
4 years
on its way. Skraby, you maybe can help me. What is it Trey Wingo that used to cover golf for ESPN?
I think he did some of that.
He did.
I saw him. He has like a little podcast or something now.
Yeah,
and he was talking about, and he's pretty educated in golf. He was talking about how John Rahm hates the decision that he made.
Oh yeah, I've heard this too.
Because it's not nearly cracked up to what it has been. He's got a boatload of money, but
he hates the drones that fly over. He hates the music. He hates the format. He hates this. He hates that. But he loves the money.
So And it sounded like he was making the point that the PGA is perfectly fine allowing it to continue the way it is because they think that the LIV is losing steam. And so, yeah, man, I say all that to say that this is we could be reaching a turning point in terms of LIV being like, all right, I know we got like endless money, but doesn't mean we want to spend it like this.
Yeah,
$1 billion in losses.
Yeah,
Scrape, you gotta get Todd. Remember a guy Todd Leonard from San Diego? He writes for Golf Digest now.
Oh,
and he has an article dated today.
Oh,
about LIV Golf and the disaster that it is.
Oh,
so maybe we should try to
get him on.
No, seriously, no, it's good.
Todd Leonard, good guy. He says they've lost, according to the actual reports, it's $1.4 billion.
Oh, it's even higher.
Way more than $1 billion.
Yes, it is.
Because $0.4 billion is quite a bit.
Right.
So, that's $400 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's get
I'll
Todd
take your
on.
word for it.
Yeah. Try to get Todd on. We'll talk a little bit about it with him. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be a breaking point for any businessman, isn't there?
I don't know.
Even these guys.
This PIF fund has unlimited money, it seems like.
I guess.
But if they lose all their players...
Well, how much longer do the players, are they tied to it?
They're all different.
Oh,
they're all
they
different.
got like different lengths in their contract.
Yeah, Trey Wingo, by the way, I typed in his name in LIV, and apparently they offered him the lead voice role, and he turned it down. He doesn't want to attach himself to a loser.
Number 2.
All right, here's a total Big Five question, but the Buffalo Bills have upset some Yankees fans out there after wishing good luck on social media to the Toronto Blue Jays.
They are closer.
Yes, of course.
They are closer.
The biggest reason for this is the fact that the Jays AAA affiliate is located in Buffalo.
Yes, they are.
And according to the article, they said, whether not realizing or simply not caring, however, many Yankees fans felt frustrated over the post, given that the Bills are considered to be a New York team because they're in New York,
but they're
the
not.
state of New York.
That's the point. That's the problem.
Chris,
Tony's been to New York enough to know
they're not.
Go ahead, ask a question, and I'll be
Is
ready.
this sacrilege for the Bills to wish the Blue Jays good luck in the playoffs?
It would only be sacrilege if the people in New York City even knew Buffalo existed.
Right, if they claim Buffalo at all.
They never claim Buffalo.
I have never met a New Yorker that was like, oh, yeah, I'm a Buffalo fan.
Yeah, I love Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo and Toronto are much more sister cities. So I think this is totally
Is there
fair.
anything to sticking with your American counterpart?
No, okay.
Is this a Canadian thing rather
Get
than
out
in
of
the,
here?
I mean, basically by your rule of thumb that we should have to root for the Giants and the 49ers.
Brandon on the
they're in our
chat
state
makes
too.
a great point. The Bills are technically the only New York team because those other two teams
They
play in New
are,
Jersey.
and that's how bad New Yorkers treat them.
Yeah.
No one would know that.
Yeah. So we're both. You guys are both saying that
is an
this is
easy
okay.
one. Yeah, this is
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on.
Go Blue Jays, go.
I honestly forget that Buffalo is in New York. I'm not
Right.
thinking about New York at all when I watch them play.
I'm not either.
Buffalo might as well be its own state.
It is basically.
It's far.
I'm gonna butcher these names, but San Diego State introduced Ehecatl, Ocelotl, and Kali. I know those are really bad, but those are the new San Diego State Aztec symbols: wind,
I
jaguar,
saw
and
this.
house.
Yes.
Yesterday, they formally unveiled the results of a 6-year project to identify iconography that is historically reflective of the Aztecs culture while aligning with the school's pillar values. Translation, according to Mark Ziegler, after retiring the controversial Aztec warrior mascot, the university wanted to create a new set of Aztec brand symbols that will re-energize the SDSU brand while not abandoning the Aztecs name or the interlocking SD logo. We do not have time. I guess
we
you
can
guys
do this
like-
pretty quick.
do
I
you guys
think.
like these logos?
I'm not in love with them yet.
I'm not either.
Um,
I'm gonna need some time.
I do find it, hilarious that they always release this stuff by saying a new logo that's going to energize the school. Has a logo really energized ever anything?
No.
And they don't call them logos; they're calling them glyphs.
Oh, I like that.
Which I don't even know what that is.
Well, because
so.
it's like a glyph is like a ancient marking or something.
I didn't know that either.
Well,
I didn't
that's
know they
more
were
than
calling
I
them
knew.
glyphs.
It took 6 years to get these made. though.
Although I should say I like these a little bit because they're probably going to show up on some of my Aztec gear.
They just
soon.
need to sit on me a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I need a little time.
Okay, I'll get the Jaguar to sit on you.
I kind of like the building
more
one.
on the other side.
Thank you.
You like the Friday. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby, all together in our Odyssey Palace studios on a day we wish we weren't together. Tony was not supposed to come home today with the Padres. They were supposed to go elsewhere, like Milwaukee. As a matter of fact, Tony, have you canceled your dinner reservations in Milwaukee? You should be nice enough
Carnivores
to call
is going to be like,
where
where
is
is
he?
he?
Waiting for you on the table there.
It wasn't going to be until Saturday. Anyway,
it wasn't going to be until Saturday.
I never actually made the reservation.
You never made the
no.
okay. Well, just checking in. Just like
Do they
to
just
check in on
slam down like a uncooked slab of steak?
These are the steaks we had.
That's what I think of when I hear the name carnivores.
No,
I don't know, man.
It's a very fancy.
I bet it's pretty
It's not
good.
really fancy, but it's good. Good.
We have some
good
pretty good
steak, though.
steakhouses in town here.
Yeah, we do.
See, I'm a guy who can only eat the fillet because I don't like eating off of the bone.
I'll be honest with you. The thing on a
That's
steakhouse.
that's just stupid.
Sorry, Skraby.
Everybody tells me that.
You may have steak tastes, but you have a hamburger budget. So
I don't even have a hamburger
Right.
budget.
Yeah, exactly.
I got like less than a hamburger budget.
Skraby wants to apologize to all the Glyph fans out there.
Okay, so I was somewhat right, but someone came on here. Elizabeth was her name. Oh, she took away her message, so maybe that's not true.
I don't know what you're
Oh,
saying. You
wait,
want to
they
explain this
retyped
to
it.
anybody?
All right. A glyph is iconography on Aztec temples. Thanks internship at the Museum of Man for that
She
random
went
piece
back
of
and-
knowledge.
she went
Man
back-
/ us.
She went back and added the last part because
Yes.
I wasn't there the first time.
No, I wasn't there the first time, but yeah, there you go. It's
Boom.
iconography
on
Aztec temples, Chris.
Boom.
Awesome. That's what I like. This one, if you're watching on the chat, the house. I don't know why.
Yeah, the animals.
I don't know why
The
either.
animals. The
Put
animals
that on
don't
one of
look.
my
They
San
don't look
Diego
scary
State
enough
shirts.
for me.
The other ones are a little.
But
the
are-
other two are kind of wigging me out.
they got it.
Yeah, the house is okay.
Wigging me out.
A little bit.
Those guys look like how they would have drawn them back in the day.
Oh, is that
I
what
see.
it is?
Yeah, they're trying to. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. I actually think the guy on the right, and if I know we're not really showing anyone this, but you can find it in the San Diego Union Tribune or goaztecs.com. The Jaguar looks like a pig to me.
That's the first thing I thought.
I was like, wait, they got a pig?
How many pigs have spots on them like that?
Oh,
What are
I
you
get
talking
that. I
about?
get that, but the ears make me think pig.
I don't know what you look at, but okay.
He's not the only one. I thought
you.
pig.
You did?
I thought pig for a sec.
Thank you.
The other thing is, I don't know what that is. It's a beard, a bird. It's a plane. It's I don't
wind.
know.
It's
Yeah.
a beard, a bird, or
Give me the
plane?
give me the house. Give me the house in the middle.
Yeah, that's the best
The
one.
house is the worst one. I don't even know that. Where do you enter said house?
Doesn't
Does it matter? It's a logo.
You
All
take
right.
a nap on top of the roof.
On top. Okay.
Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools. They are the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. GL Pools wants to say thank you to us, to Gwynn and Chris and you, Skraby. Also, all the listeners, great Padres season. For your year-round swimming pool needs, call GL Pools. Mention the word radio. They'll get you a free month of pool service. We did touch on this, and so let's start this with the 5 o'clock hour. No longer now can the Padres sell, I don't think, Tony. And I also want to get your take before I ask this question. 70-something sellouts this year. What a year by the fans.
Man.
And I wonder how many, I'm sure the
that
players kind of, as bad as they felt about losing, they felt some type of way of not being able to not come home and play one for the fans, I'm sure, after the season that the fans gave them.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that was all part of the frustration that they felt knowing that the season was over.
Right.
But I must say, to our fans out here, they obviously have been incredible. I mean, set another record. What is this, back-to-back seasons of setting attendance?
I think so, yeah.
But I think what's I find cool, because I'm traveling around a lot of places. I mean, San Diego travels well where we go.
There were some people there at Wrigley.
No doubt. but they are starting to. The folks out here are starting to develop a reputation in terms of creating a home field advantage here in San Diego. We talk about it often here, but it's interesting that I'm now hearing that when we go to other places and they start talking about toughest venues to play in, you're starting to hear San Diego's name pop up a lot more. And that's a credit to the people here in San Diego who show up in droves and support this team. They vent their frustrations, so most certainly, but when you're supporting a team like that, that's kind of comes with it. And so
we also
kudos to the fans out there.
We wouldn't want it any other way. If you didn't care, then you wouldn't,
That also means the team is good too, because we
had many years where they didn't care because the team wasn't worth caring about.
Is if you're not good out here in San Diego, people will do something else.
I know.
And they have no problem doing something else. So shout out to the fans, man. You guys did an outstanding job this year.
And now
very sad that it ended the way it did.
And to not get a home game was frustrating. All right, now that the fans have been thanked, now the fans are going to probably want a little more.
Oh,
and I think that's fair, right? The team has now been competitive for the last 6 years. They've been in the playoffs.
Yes.
The other 2 years they were in the hunt. So it's been 6 great years in that regard. But I don't think you can say next year, hey, we just kind of want – but how do you put a team together in a sense to guarantee you're going to win in the playoffs?
You don't.
It's almost impossible to do.
You don't. You can't. It can't happen.
Yeah.
And, I think everybody has to acknowledge that payroll may not be allowed to move up. There's still a lot of business that is not – we don't know when the outcome of it's going to get done. There's a lawsuit that they're dealing with, and that could have a major impact on what happens moving forward. And that's why, I think, again, we kind of hit on it, having a GM that is creative in a when you are in a time like this is valuable. But that's the tough part is this team is mainly already set. In terms of, we kind of went over the roster in terms of who's going to be in the starting lineup. You certainly may have a spot at first base open to address the power needs that this team seemingly needs. But who's out there? I don't know who the first basemen are.
Well, we know
Pete
Pete Alonso's
Alonso,
available,
Kyle
but he's
Schwarber.
going to be pretty expensive.
Those guys are going to be.
So is Schwarber. Yeah, Skraby and I are dreaming.
Until we know exactly what payroll or what at least the idea of, are we adding, or we want to stay where they are, they're going lower, that'll kind of answer the question of whether Pete Alonso or Kyle Schwarber is in play. Of course, you could move some money and a contract and maybe be able to replace somebody else with that, but you're not moving Manny.
Here are some of the Josh Naylor, free agent.
Maybe
He's
so.
making 14.2 this year. Paul Goldschmidt might be a little bit too
long-toothed.
Thank you for being nice. Wilmer Flores is also long-toothed.
Thank you for not calling somebody who's like 36 years old.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Ryan O'Hearn, that's the guy.
Yeah.
You think it'll be O'Hearn?
From a money standpoint, you said Naylor's making
14.2.
He's gonna make more this year. He in the free agency.
Yes, they're predicting that Ryan O'Hearn, Spot Track is predicting that he makes $11 or $12 million, which we can't really know if that's the price, but
if that's the price,
do it.
that sounds
and Hosmer's money off the books.
That's also a good thing, right?
13 million, I think it was, or was it more?
I'm not sure.
I tried to forget about that.
But yeah, that's the tough part is
you gotta do it all within some parameters.
Right.
It is unfortunately
that one time that we experienced where it seemed like the cash flow was it was open. I don't know that we get to see that again.
By the way,
anytime soon.
By the way, are we honestly going to bring Sammy Levitt back? He has promised us the champagne flowing now for 4 years.
I tried to delete the commercial, but it keeps coming back up.
Wherever Sammy goes, the champagne flows. Not really. It hasn't flowed here. No flowing, Sam.
We've had some
I mean,
champagne
it's flown a little
celebrations,
bit,
yeah.
but-
I know.
but not
We
the
love
champagne we're talking about.
We love Sammy, and I hope he's getting at least one day off today.
Probably not.
Probably not. He'll
Probably.
be out
He's-
somewhere doing something.
He's probably trying to go viral right now as we speak.
He's going to the Yu Darvish mural and doing something in front of it, probably. I don't know. That's what Sam
And
does.
that is a
What?
wrap on
2025.
2025.
Oh, is that what he said?
What do you think?
what
a couple
do you
years
think's
ago,
gonna
he got very famous on TikTok because people started using his voice. Like
I actually
celebrities
got
started
asked
using
about
his
that
voice.
in an
Did not
interview
know.
in Chicago.
What?
I don't know if it was on the interview or it was before we got on. He was like, "Hey, isn't the guy that had went viral for you? Doesn't he do your?" He thought he was Jesse. I was like, "No, that's not Jesse. That's Sam Murray."
What?
Poor Jesse.
We haven't mentioned you yet, Tony.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 hits. He gave up a hit batter and then a soft single. And I think people are going to think that he just got obliterated in this game.
Yeah.
It was 4 batters.
He didn't get a chance to get
He didn't get a chance to get obliterated.
No.
And people are saying, okay, that was the message. He's just kind of past it now. I was such a fan of him starting this game. I really was, and I don't mind admitting it. I was wrong, fine, but I'll be wrong. I just, I really believe in this guy that he's still capable, but maybe he doesn't have it as often, to be the Darvish that can, negotiate one of these games, because he did it only a couple of times this year.
I don't know that we have the answer to that. Only you knows where he's at health-wise, physically, in terms of pitching next year. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to him before
right.
he left today. I didn't get a chance because that might have been the last time we got a chance to see him pitch. If you think about it.
If he retires, that money on his contract goes away, right?
It's a little more complicated than that.
Okay.
I mean,
I just didn't know.
Is he
Is he medically retiring?
It would seem to me that it would be retiring, not because he doesn't want to pitch anymore, because he can't really pitch the way that he needs to pitch.
Oh, so they could.
So
okay.
It's a little more complicated than that. We'll see. Hopefully, he'll be able to make that decision. I think he's earned that right, and I think the Padres are more than willing to let him.
He actually gets a pay cut going into next year.
Yeah.
So he goes down, I think, by $5 million. So he's making 16, which is the going rate for a starting pitcher.
Let's just say for sure the starting lineup will, if at this moment, is much easier to predict than the starting 5.
Yeah.
All right, break time. More Gwynn and Chris, happy hour, and the season that ended too early. More discussion about it after traffic.
From the
Skraby's got the Chronicles returning to action.
I was not ready for the full schedule of
7.
Chronicles.
Yeah, you get all Chronicle time tonight. An hour all by yourself. Tony and I'll be happy to leave you.
Yes,
Get on
we
out of
will.
here for the weekend. Aztec football tonight. Colorado State, 7:30 ball game. Couple of other things real quick. We mentioned the 49er. That was a nice win last night, Skrabe. Tony and I already did our NFL picks, so we have them, and we'll keep you up to date. I think it's still early in the season, but we did do our picks for the weekend. So suffice to say, we're keeping tabs on that. The WNBA, Skraby and I have been talking about this a little, Tony, and I know you're, a little more keeping an eye on it closer than, a lot of people because you have 4 daughters or 3 daughters. 4 kids, 3 daughters. But the mess that is this thing with the commissioner now. Have you heard it? You've heard this, right? And what she said about Caitlin Clark and all the people coming out against it. And then you top that off with the referees and the coach of Minnesota, charging the cord. And Skraby and I are like, God, is the WNBA not shooting itself in the foot a little bit here with so much, what'd you call it earlier, Skraby?
Oh gosh, was this on or off
Jerry
the air?
Springer type behavior.
Did you really say
Yeah, he
that?
did. He said pretty soon it's gonna be like the Jerry Springer show.
Because we were talking about the coach of the Lynx who got suspended.
Off the air.
Oh yeah, that was on the air. Tony, did you see the coach lose her mind?
Yeah, I did.
And
She
get
lost.
suspended?
She went a little cray-cray.
She did.
All right, so what are we gonna do, Tony? I mean, they got the finals are tonight. I wish people are honestly talking about the kids that are playing in the finals.
I mean, listen, the evidence doesn't support that people are feeling a way about it. Ticket sales, they've maxed, they've done more than they've ever done. I think this, if you want the league to be taken seriously, and listen, I saw the refereeing with my own eyes, so
some of it's not good.
It's a lot. Well, I shouldn't say a lot because I only went to one game. The game I went to, the 3.5 quarters that I watched, me and Mark Mudcat Grant kept looking at each other like, oh my God,
really?
That wasn't a foul.
Oh wow.
It was that noticeable. And ironically, it was I went to the Minnesota coach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And she lost it that night too, because I mean she had one player go off. I think her nose got broke. You had at the end of the third quarter, Skylar Diggins hit a shot, came down, and just MF the whole bench. Like came down to their bench, MF their whole bench, and referee didn't do anything, and so I understand. Now the irony in this is that the thing that pissed everybody off, I didn't think was a foul. Did you see the play?
Oh, where she stepped
where
in
she
and
stepped
cut the,
in.
No, I didn't think that was a foul either.
It wasn't a foul. I mean, they slowed it down. I mean, it was
she
sucked that
snuck
she ended
in
up,
there,
rolling her ankle as bad as she did, but they actually got that call right. And
that was one they got right.
And
by
I didn't watch.
accident,
Yeah,
probably.
I didn't watch the entirety of that game, but I don't think there's nothing that needs to be done. I think there's so much more coverage on just sports in general, specifically the WNBA, that it just seems like we're only talking about that. And at that point, there were no more games, right? We were still waiting for game 1, which, as you said, took place tonight. And so I don't think it's as big of an issue as
I can speak a little to the WNBA officials only on this part. I've seen many of the games that I've watched, the WNBA. Many of those officials work in the Mountain West Conference, Aztec women's games. And I don't think they're really good. Like I watched
I feel like you've come in here complaining about the referees.
I sit courtside, and again, I'm not trying to say I'm better. Don't get me wrong. I do my thing. They're doing their thing. It's a different level. It's a different world. I can't say I'd walk in and, do as well, but I think I would. They don't make great judgment calls. I miss, there's just stuff. It's not, they know the rules. They know all the procedures. They know all the things you're supposed to do. They don't judge whether it's a foul very good. That's what they don't. I think it's important
because that leads to more hard fouls as the game goes on.
Yes. And I'm not saying I've got every call right. There's probably some coaches listening right now going, Chris, this is really rich of you to be saying. But I think you have to at least, for the most part, have a pretty decent judge of whether it's a foul or not. And I'm looking at I know these names of the WNBA refs, and they all work in our
Mountain
league.
West.
So I don't know where you go, but they need to improve it because everyone's complaining about it.
Right.
It's not just maybe a problem.
Right.
It's a problem.
The other thing on that subject, I thought Caitlin Clark hit her comments out the park in terms of replying to what was said about may or may not have been said about her, right?
Yes.
She talked about
Well,
leadership.
the commissioner didn't deny.
She
saying
didn't.
it,
She
so-
certainly did. She said it was
Yeah.
mischaracterized, I believe was the word
Yeah,
she
didn't
used.
deny it, though.
that's the biggest tell for me is that she
Yeah.
was
Here's
like,
a-
I never said that. It was mischaracterized.
Here's a couple of things that I think we should be mindful of. I thought Caitlin Clark hit it out of the ballpark. She said, leadership is about, being able to have a relationship. She didn't say a relationship with your counterparts, right? But the other thing to remember, and this is where I think they're going to have to get over the hump of. We often remind each other when Roger Goodell is doing something, he is paid
They
by
work for the
somebody.
owners.
They work for the owners.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
And in this case, a lot of the owners are also NBA owners. Because a lot of those teams own the sister team of the WNBA.
Right.
And so, they're at a collective bargaining bypass right now, or they're getting ready to go into one. And I just hope they recognize that even though Kathy is the one, popping off and saying these things, until the owners of the league are tired of her working for them,
She's going to keep working for
She's
him.
going to keep working for them.
We'll see. I think there's so much pressure for her to step down that it could still happen.
This would be one of the
few times the players can win.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's real quick before we go to break on this. And you would know because you've been around a little bit longer. Can you remember a time in which owners have fired a commissioner
because the players wanted them to?
Because the players wanted them to, or because they thought how often does a commissioner get fired in general?
Commissioners do some of the dumbest things, but owners don't mind. No, you're right.
As long as the owners are making money, they do
Guess
not
who's
care.
not taking any of these barbs or having to deal with it?
The
It's
owners.
So
That's why they pay the commissioner.
It's also a nice diversion from the fact that they're not paying these kids enough money.
100%.
They're just not. People that say, well, the WNBA doesn't get the ratings and the same. Well, okay, but they are filling all the arenas pretty much now that they're playing in.
Yeah.
And they're doing it pretty darn as well as they can. I don't know that it has to go exactly with the money made with the money paid. Because if that's the case, then LeBron's making $100 gazillion. That means the team needs to be making 200 gazillion.
Right.
And I don't think they are.
Right.
So I would like to see these players make some more. Maybe they shouldn't be matching an NBA salary. I can get
I don't
that.
even think that's what they're asking.
But they're not
for.
asking for that.
Yeah,
right.
so.
They're not. All right. Anyway, WNBA finals tonight. If you're a fan of that, and I hope that a lot of you will be, watch these games or tape them. You're going to be surprised. Some of the shots that Vegas made the other night in the overtime to advance to the final, I was like, man, they can play these kids. They really can.
They got pushed to the brink too.
If you haven't watched it in 5 years and you say, well, the WNBA, they're not. No,
That's a completely different
much
league
better.
than 5 years ago.
Like
for sure.
way better.
I think they need to change the ball.
Change the ball, Skraby.
Yeah,
it's
the white and orange. It kind of looks Harlem Globetrottery to me a little bit, like it's a gimmick.
Actually, game one is underway. That's why Skraby's commenting on it. It's 21-21 first quarter. Vegas, Phoenix. We'll take a break. We're going to go through a little more specifically some of these Padre contract situations and see what we should do before we're out of here at 6. Chris, Tony, Skraby, happy to be with you and kind of starting the whole 4-hour thing again. Monday, it'll be a little shorter because we'll have Monday Night Football. I believe it's the Chiefs and the, let's say Jags, maybe?
So now that the
it's not exactly the game of the year, but that's what's coming. I think it's Chiefs and Jags. I could be.
I have a question for you
singing
two
off the top
Chief
of my
haters. Now that they went back to looking like the Chiefs again, are we getting back on the NFL? Is
Yeah, they're obviously getting the calls.
They're getting
again.
calls. Okay,
It is
Just wanna
Chiefs
make sure.
Jaguars. That's crazy.
It is Chiefs Jaguars Monday.
I get to see Travis Hunter for the first time. I haven't watched a Jaguar.
You're not
game
gonna
all
guess
year.
what? You're not missing
gonna,
much.
You're not going to see much. He only
doesn't
played,
play.
I think he played 6 snaps on defense last time.
That's why I want to see him is on because that's apparently where he's doing his best work.
I
is
think
on
he
defense.
should be. I think he should focus on the defensive side because he can cover.
They sound. Yeah, I saw some clips of him locking up. Who's the Texans' best wideout?
Nico
Collins. Yeah.
He also made a pretty good catch against the 49ers over the middle, went up for it, but he needs to focus on one side of the ball. Yeah. And he's on my fantasy
There's
team.
not
Ah, there it is.
There's the rub.
Well, it doesn't, if he focuses on defense, then I'm dropping him.
You wouldn't be talking
Why
about
don't
it if
you
he wasn't
drop
on your
him
team.
anyway?
I can't drop him.
Broncos Eagles, I think, is on the paper the best game of the Sunday, but it's not like we don't have a totally a marquee game this weekend. What did I want to get to before we go to some of these contract situations? I had
You wanted to. Gosh, what did he say?
I don't know. There was something it was fun. It was going to be worthwhile too. I know. Buck Martinez.
Buck Martinez.
Who's
He
He's
is the broadcaster
he's
for the.
color. He's the Tony Gwynn Jr. of the Blue Jays.
okay?
And I don't
I
expect
think
Tony
I'm the
Gwynn
Buck
Jr.
Martinez of the Padres
Yeah.
is what I think it should go. He's older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but for our purposes, he's the Tony Gwynn Jr. of them. I don't. Do you see Tony saying something like, even a month ago, the Brewers just aren't a very good team.
No.
Just in case we play them in the playoffs.
No.
Well, that's what Buck Martinez said about the Yankees about a month ago. He said, I don't care what their record is. The Yankees aren't a very good team. Aaron Boone.
Did you remember that?
Oh, yes. He got off the plane today and he said, just want to let everybody know we got a pretty good team here. So
very Booney-like.
Very
right there.
Booney-like. I still am an Aaron Boone fan. I know
I am too.
Some people don't like it. I think he's great for the game.
I've always been even when he was working for ESPN, man. He's always been a solid.
I think he's a
dude.
good dude, and he couldn't have got a better. I told Skraby earlier the two heroes yesterday in the other games were Dingler and Schlittler. It was quite a weird day.
That's tough.
Dingler and what was the name?
Schlittler. You gotta be careful with Schlittler.
That's why I
You
had
gotta
to
be
get.
careful with that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that one alone.
Yeah,
because I have a tendency to.
Let me read something from the chat real quick.
All right.
From Clinton. I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys so much. I'm a longtime Padres fan, but only listened to the station starting this year. One day hearing Tony on this show disputing with Chris, which
that happens.
It definitely happens.
It happens from time to time.
Like the what was it? Now it just left my head. Never mind.
The slug.
I try to tell you guys, you can forget stuff now. Just wait till you're my age. It's gonna happen all the time.
I know. You know what? Sometimes I something happens to me in my daily life, and it's something I've made fun of Chris for, and I'm like, oh my god, he's right.
Yeah, he's
right.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Good.
One day.
That's what you get. You shouldn't be making fun of Chris all the time.
That's okay.
Thank
Keeps me
you.
on my toes.
I mean, he did like the house of the 3 Aztec logos.
I did too, though.
The
What does
best
that mean?
one.
It's not the best one.
Well, Tony likes it too, so why aren't you giving him a hard time?
Yes, great.
Because Tony is
Tony's hip.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's no question about that. Tony's the only guy that can say the show's popping today. You and I have to say the show's popping.
We're going to get popping off here soon.
No, you don't. You don't have to do it that way.
All right, Skraby, go through
Wait,
some.
sorry.
yeah.
One last thing.
One
'cause
more thing.
Talking
Okay.
about popping.
Yeah.
At the watch party at Park 101 Wednesday, Chris was tasked with going up in front of everyone and making a speech and giving away a prize. And he had this whole bit on the peas popping, and he
I
kept
did.
popping his peas into the
On the
mic for everyone to hear.
It just came to me as I was up there.
You're like, peas are popping the Padres in postseason and playoffs.
For any broadcaster,
Yes,
the
it's a
Pittsburgh
nightmare.
Penguins are
Oh.
one of the tougher teams in all
Or
of
the
sports.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Right. Tough not to.
Wait, did the Steelers not get the memo? They needed a P name?
They just say, hey, we settled on the same color. All right, that's good enough.
It is tough to not pop the peas.
Yes.
I check traffic, and then let's do one final thing on the Padres roster stuff.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Well, don't look for much relief on our roads this afternoon, guys. Still plenty of problem spots. Coastline's in trouble again. This time it's an accident involving a motorcycle just before Oceanside Boulevard. Looks like that's in the center divide. Then up ahead, past Mission Avenue, crash blocking the slow lane. Eastbound 56 past Carmel Country Road, accident has been pushed over to the right shoulder. Same goes for northbound 15. Accident has been pushed over to the right shoulder near Bernardo Center, but we're seeing quite a bit of residual slowing. Southbound 5 clearing an accident near Garnett. And southbound side of the 15, we still have this accident near the 163. They just cleared that out of the HOV lane. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I guess I'll just continue our conversation on the air. But Chris was telling me, because we're watching the replay of Schlittler.
God, it's a dangerous game you're playing, buddy.
I know. But he's in the 8th inning. He struck out 12. And I just, it's incredible. It's incredible, Chris, that he went 12 strikeouts.
Well, it's his first game.
Big marble.
First start in the postseason. The last guy to do anything even close to this was something like Don Newcomb.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Ooh, I didn't
A
either.
Yankee just went for a foul ball and
Ryan
fell
McMahon.
over.
That was McMahon. He caught it, too.
Wow. That
Did
was
he get
pretty
the
good.
out?
Yeah.
He flew into their dugout.
That was a flip if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Yowzers.
That was crazy.
Okay.
Anyway,
Schlittler.
You can
The
tell none of
interesting
us saw
one
that
last
because we all
thing-
reacted like
Yeah.
it was the first
It was a
time.
great performance. You're right. It was the most strikeouts ever in a postseason debut. I think the last to come close to that was Don Newcomb or something like 70 years ago.
Nuke.
but you had a cool stat.
Well, the cool stat was that he played at Northeastern University, which is in Boston. And Northeastern played the Red Sox in one of those preseason games. A few years ago, he pitched against the Red Sox in that game.
Oh.
Last night, he pitched against them again, and he did a little better.
Yes, he did.
All right, take us through some of the roster stuff, Skraby. Let's look at the Padres. One last thing here. By next week, it'll all, not seem as dire and depressing.
I
At
should
least I
say,
hope.
all guests on 97.3 The Fan going forward, join us via the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline, facing criminal charges. Trust David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys, helping clients regain control since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Free agents for the Padres.
Well, let's go by position. I think it's easier to
Okay.
keep tabs on it. Let's start
You
at
lead and I'll tell
I
you.
will. Let's start at catcher. Fermin is in, or is there any option
No,
for him?
Fermin's in. He's pre-arbitration. He's here for the
For
long
me,
haul.
looking like the best defensive catcher in baseball.
He looks so
He
good.
was throwing
He
these
looks so
shots
good.
out.
He's the everyday
Yesterday.
catcher next year, right?
Without question.
Okay.
Diaz is a
Diaz is a mutual option. So meaning both sides have to opt in on $7 million.
seems like they could find somebody cheaper who could just as much. I hate to say.
And for me, he's going to be your everyday guy.
Right. Why
could-
waste $7 million on a backup?
You could just let
that's hardly
Campy
gonna
be your
play?
backup at that point.
And either that or Pavetta pays Diaz the $7 million to be his personal catcher.
Well, shoot, he was only getting $1 million this year. he ain't gonna want to
he
give him
wouldn't be able to
$7.
afford that. Campusano, are they going to try it one more time, Tony, or did they try to find somebody to take him?
I don't think
It's
you need to now.
Incredible how good he was in the AAA thing.
I think you let him come in as your backup. You're
Okay.
not going to have to pay him anything. He's still under team control, and so
And when I go to his name on Spot Track, it says his status is buried. I don't even know what the heck that means.
Well, the other thing is does
he
he?
was buried behind Diaz and for me?
But if he
He's
was a
got
backup
three-
catcher, he'd actually have to catch, and I still wonder if they even trust him to do that.
I don't
got
think
3
the
more years
problem
of
was.
arbitration.
I don't think the problem was catching. Honestly, I think the bigger problem was he wasn't hitting at all.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. So I mean,
All right, first base, O'Hearn, Arise, both are straight up free agents.
Yep, straight up free agents,
Okay.
unrestricted free agents. Manny apparently has said Ryan O'Hearn is a favorite of his, so
Well, I think O'Hearn is the favorite of everybody in this
Manny
contest.
made it a point to say we cut payroll and, we still got to this point, and I'd love to see us figure out a way to bring
Keep
some of
this
these
guy.
guys back.
For sure.
I assume he
shot across the
right,
bow.
and he said Ryan O'Hearn's name by name.
That's a good guy to have say your name if you're
for
Ryan
sure.
O'Hearn. By the way, Tony, I taken every bullet I can for Luis Arise, so much so that I've been basically in ICU the last 2 months of the season.
You got a bulletproof vest yet?
Right. But I couldn't take one for him on the assuming Swanson would catch the ball play. Some people are feeling quite a bit type of way about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say about it, because we should all know better that you can't predict something. You have to be running there. Anyway, but I don't want to drag this through the mud again, but we were all mad at Luis for that.
This one. Well, it's to me, it's just keep that same energy. Y'all don't you think that's the first time that he did that this year?
No.
Do you think that's the first time? If they do that all the time, they assume that the line drive they hit it right at somebody's caught, and it's obviously under a magnifying glass come postseason.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's blaming the loss on that.
Just be in your feelings.
Well,
about
we
it.
hit both sides of it, because we did say that Arise did have an excellent defensive game yesterday, and also many others. Second base.
Wait, let's go back to him. I mean, he's getting
Arise O'Hearn. I don't think Arise is coming back.
Yeah, Arise is making $14 million this last year. He's projected for another $14 million year. I don't know.
If you could guarantee him hitting 340, then I would love to have him, but I don't know.
He
that we
never
can
hit
guarantee.
340 though.
Well, I'm
Chris
jumping it up a little bit.
Okay.
I guess if he's a batting title guy,
I honestly hope you guys all get what you want. Honestly,
That he's gone,
that he's gone.
and that we miss him.
No, I don't hope that you miss him. If he's gone, he's gone.
Well,
I
don't
never
say
said
you
that.
guys.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
I've
Whoa.
taken
I'm
every
not
bullet for
talking
this
about
guy.
you two.
We're talking
I'm
about the ones that want
everybody
him
who
gone.
wants him
Everybody
gone.
out
I hope
there.
they get what they want.
Me too.
All right, Cronenworth, Machado, Bogarts. All three are under long-term contracts.
Going nowhere.
Very unlikely. Iglesias, you said, is a free agent.
He is a free
But that's
agent.
not a big, needle mover,
Right.
Yeah.
right? You're going to either get him or somebody else to back up. So it seems to me he'd be just as good a choice as anybody. His defense is so fun to watch. Laureano in left is good.
He is a team option for $6.5 million.
I can't believe they would pass on that.
No.
I would love him to come back.
Right.
Hope you
Maryland,
guys all feel
Tatis
the
are
same
good.
way.
They all do. So
Yes,
there's your
everybody
lineup.
feels the same way about
There's your
Laureano.
lineup.
For now.
Okay. Gavin Sheets. What's his story?
He's under He's under control for a little bit, so he's at least through the next 2 seasons.
great year for Gavin, no doubt.
And we got to assume that he's going to get better, right? I guess you just said the word.
I think it's
assume.
year to year.
You
in
just said the word
baseball,
assume.
isn't it?
Have you not learned anything about
Yeah.
baseball the
I
last
know.
3 years?
I know. Every year it takes on a
Every
life of
year
its
we
own.
got to do this whole
Yeah.
thing. We start making predictions, and
I know.
and then
I'm already doing it.
Yeah,
It's literally
just
the day after the season ended.
stop.
You were making a prediction as the ball was settling into PCA's glove yesterday.
Gavin Sheets, unrestricted free agent in 2028, so 2 more years with him.
Good. All right, starters, Pavetta.
He has,
but he's got to get some more money, right?
well,
No,
no,
he's
he's getting
got-
20.5.
already-
It bumps up
he's
from
already-
1 million to
oh.
20 million.
Oh, all right. So he can't
that
afford.
was the reason the deal was so good for
Right,
the Padres
yeah.
this year.
Well, he can afford to pay Diaz then next
Yeah, maybe
year.
he could give up some of that 7.
All right, Cease and King. Do we all think that if there's one of the two kept, it'll be King? Or do we think maybe there's a chance that 2 of the 2 are kept?
Let's
don't.
preface it with King has a mutual team option for $15 million. So if the team wants out, I believe the buyout is 3.75. King said yesterday he is going to talk all the things. He loves San Diego, but he's not sure what he's going to do yet, which
Well, that's smart
means
to
that
say.
he's gone.
It's no, he's
Does
not.
that mean that?
It means he's gone. I do. Do
Don't be a
you guys
pessimist.
do you guys think that Michael King, and I know that I've already asked this question, I know I've already been told no. Do you think that he torpedoed a little bit of his value this year just because he wasn't available to pitch and no one got to see a full season from
I
him?
don't think so, because I think people who pay tend to remember the high moments.
Okay.
I think if anything, I don't know that it torpedoed it by not being out there, Maybe there may be some hesitation now because it was a shoulder that he was missing for.
Right.
But
might be worried he's not healthy.
Right. But I doubt it.
All right, we got to move along. Not to speed anybody up, but only a couple minutes left to get to everybody. Darvish, we said it's going to be up to him, really. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter what we think.
He's taking a pay cut, though.
Don't forget Musgrove is back. That's a big deal.
$20 million.
And
that might be the silver lining in this whole thing, right? Is that because if the Padres advance, he would have 100% pressed to be out there pitching.
No, Joe.
I don't know if he's ready.
He would have wanted to pitch in the Milwaukee series?
He would have wanted to try to pitch at the end of that series and certainly in the NLCS.
Wow. Okay.
So,
Nestor Cortez and
free agent.
JP Sears.
JP Sears under team control. Nestor Cortez free agent.
All right. And then quickly in the bullpen, Suarez free agent.
No.
Sorry.
Player
option.
So he could say, I want to stay here and take him $8 million, but he's not.
Yeah,
just let the league in saves.
Yeah, he's probably going to go elsewhere. Mason Miller, we feel good about him anyway.
He's through 2030.
We got Estrada. We also have Morejon.
Hey, shout out to Jeremiah Estrada yesterday.
We gave him a shout.
He came in and had a big marble moment.
I was a little nervous about that move, but I didn't know where they had to go.
They didn't have nowhere else to go.
I know.
Morejon also gave you a whole nother inning on top of everything else he gave you.
One more arbitration year for him.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, Miller, Estrada, Morejon, and Jason Adam are all coming back unless there's a trade.
Correct.
That's got to make you feel cozy in the bullpen.
Yes.
Beyond the David Morgans and the Brad Glayrod, and whoever else you want to drum up.
How about Brad Glay and David coming on?
Yeah, so they're going to be good there. All right, we mentioned manager Mike Schill, GM AJ Preller. We've talked a lot about whether they're coming back. They get 3 votes from all of us, I think.
Yeah.
Right down the line. You can make a change if you want with AJ, but be careful what you wish for. You could say, well, he hasn't won the championship. Okay, well, neither did A.J. Smith with the Chargers. But the day they got rid of him, they became terrible. So was that better than, being 14-2 and, losing a playoff game? I don't know. I was always more of an A.J. Smith fan than a lot of other people out there.
One of the greatest nicknames, I think Bernie Wilson gave
it to him, the Lord of No Rings, and it followed him everywhere.
Bernie, let me tell you, Bernie's one of the top, whatever you want to call those type of deals.
Snarky?
He's at the top of the list. He got some good ones for you.
Bernie Wilson, AP.
Lord of No Rings.
Lord of No Rings.
Yeah, he and A.J. Smith
They used to have, I'm sure.
And then they would clash, and then Bernie and I'd be sitting in the media room, and he'd go about 25 minutes straight on how A.J. Smith drove him crazy. And I'd go, yeah, okay. Bernie. All right, everybody have a good weekend. Maybe even stay away from sports other than the Aztec game tonight.
Wait. We got breaking news.
No way.
The Rangers hired Skip Schumacher.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
There you go. It's official.
According
to Jeff Passan.
Probably going to happen.
It happened.
Yes, it did.
All right, now that you got that, watch the Aztec game tonight.
I won't be watching any baseball for a while.
So. Yeah, take the weekend off from baseball for sure. And we'll see you Monday.
I have a softball game over the weekend, Tony. You can come watch.
No, thank you.
We'll tell you what happened in the baseball playoffs on Monday. See you.